Hello and welcome to Season 5, Episode 1 of Les Oderants. I can barely believe it. I'm Dan and I am joined by the whole gang are here. Fliss, Ben and James. Say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Lovely. Well, it's been a little while, hasn't it? Or, as the Americans might say, it's been a minute. James, you have recently been on honeymoon because you recently got married, didn't you? Mazel tov. Da, 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 da. So, and that is why people listen to Les Oderants. It's hang on, to anyone listening for the first time.
None of you fucking came though, did you? You all got a bleeding invite and you didn't come.
Well, I did rarely leave my house, so I'm no surprise there.
No, I appreciate it. It's a fucking long way. It's a long way for you to come, and yeah.
But I figured as Fliss and Ben weren't going, I didn't sort of want to be like Johnny fucking, no, not Johnny, Billy fucking Night. Yeah, who's that cunt?
Well,
who's that
right,
cunt over there? I don't know.
Grumpy as fuck, but my goodness, he smells good.
Yeah, charming. Yeah. So, mazel tov on the nuptials and all that jazz, but you went honeymooning in Italy.
Yeah, I did, yeah. It was fantastic. Well, we went to Amsterdam.
Want to get fucked up.
Just to sort of... Yeah, just to continue the party, because I think Jenny was a bit like, you've got to go to Amsterdam and you're stag do, why couldn't I fucking go? So I was like, all right, we'll go there. And in actual fact, it worked out better because there was no flights to Naples on the day we wanted to go, or for some reason they were all full or something. So we're like, oh, it might be easier just to go there first. So we did. I don't remember a lot of what happened because everywhere we went, like even if we went in a shop or like before we went in this art gallery in Chester and they were showing all this like cool artwork and stuff. We actually saw like Johnny Depp's artwork that was downstairs, and this woman, Jenny, happened to know her. She's like, oh, hi, blah, 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 and then just started like plying us with Prosecco. And then it seemed that everywhere we went in Italy, they were like, oh, honeymoon, oh, like in shops and stuff, just pulling out the Prosecco. You'd be in like a leather shop or something, like, why have you got fucking open bottles of Prosecco in there? They just go, yeah, come out. And so we were boozing, and we'd had I don't know, we were just drinking like margaritas and stuff. I was just fucking hammered, and we had this experience, right? And I kind of want to say it on the podcast because we got to Amsterdam and we had a bit of a doobie, as you do, and we were walking by the Reich Museum, which is a big, huge museum. It's a bit like the Louvre of Amsterdam, and I've been going there for like 30 years and I've never been once. Right? So same with like people like, have
man
you been
of
to
culture.
No. Have you been to any of the cultural stuff?
Went over there and got high, to be honest.
Yeah, so I thought we better had, and it was like 12 o'clock at night then we got there, and we were just cruising around like fucking floating around, and there was absolutely nobody around whatsoever, right? And there's these beautiful art, and you walk under, and we were like, oh wow, this beautiful architecture. There was no fucker around, and then heard like this, I can only describe it as like, it was like, sounded like a fucking choir of angels, right? It's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life, right? And we were like, oh my God, where's this music coming from? We were walking through these arches. I'm not joking. Like, we were in a bit of an altered state, but you could like, it was like walking through water or something. You could feel feel the sound on your face and stuff. And it was unreal, right? And there was just one girl, she wasn't looking at us or anything. She was looking at her phone. She had she was like this, and she was singing, but it was like choral. It was like polyphonic. There was like, it sounded like angels. It was like some kind of Gregorian chant type. I don't even know what it was. It was just absolutely stunning. And we were just in complete silence, just walking along past it. This is like 12 o'clock at night. She didn't have a hat out or anything. She was just singing because the acoustics under this place was fucking incredible, and it was the most amazing thing. I could have whipped my phone out, I could have filmed it, but it would have ruined the moment, so I didn't. So we were walking along, and then we walked past it, and I just looked at Jay, I was like, did you hear that? Is that real? Like, yeah. And we're like, do you reckon if we like turn around and go back now, she won't be there? Be some kind of fucking like, and she was like, no. And then it was the most incredible thing. And that kind of set up the whole magical kind of honeymoon, really, because we complained about the room as well. When we got to Amsterdam, we were like, we're not fucking facing out the back of the hotel, fuck that, like, come on, honeymoon suite, bump us up. So they did, and they said, we didn't put you on the front because, you know, we did complain about noise. No, I don't care about the noise, I want a fucking view out of my room. Okay, well, we'll put you on the other side. So they did, and then that night we went out and we were coming back, and I could see, like, miles down the road, like, this huge roadworks. They were digging up all the sewers and fucking all this kind of shit. And I was like, that's right outside our fucking hotel room, isn't it? And it was. And so they had all this machinery going off all night. And I was like, yeah, I bet they think we're pricks now in the fucking hotel because we mithered move. And in actual fact, we were so fucking wrecked I didn't even notice, just went to sleep. Didn't really bother us, but of all the times, and I went down at the end and went, look, yeah, we changed rooms, didn't we? And there was roadworks outside. I bet you were fucking laughing your heads off, weren't you? Anyway, so that happened. Then we went to Sorrento, which is like beautiful southern Italy. It's in the kind of Bay of Naples. For people that don't know, it's like a little, almost like a peninsula. It's not really a peninsula, but it's just like a bit of it kind of juts out like a headland, and it's on there. Stunning place, amazing. There's a lot of lemon groves there. They make a lot of limoncello, and just amazing food, loads of seafood, and just incredible. Everywhere you went was just stunning. Drank loads of rosé, and just had an incredible time. Went to Pompeii, walked around the Roman ruins and all that, and just everything. It was like a sensory experience. All the food was incredible, the smells, the herbs, it really got me like kind of reinvigorated for perfume, to be honest. And everyone smelled amazing, right? Everywhere you went, yes, it was the same, a lot of tacky things, but there seemed to be an Italian vibe, which was very much a kind of spicy amber sort of things, like a lot of myrrh and frankincense and stuff. I noticed as soon as we got in the hotel, all the people in there, they just smelled of this, it was almost generic, like you would smell Sauvage or something here, but it was everywhere. It was a bit like that black Armani Privé that you sent us.
The Queer Majeste.
That, like, a lot of people wearing that kind of stuff, and yeah, it was just fantastic. So thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, it really, not only did I need a break, and it kind of reinvigorated me, but it also reinvigorated me for liking perfume and smells and just experiencing stuff through food, really, and food and drink. So just lovely. It was jasmine everywhere, and all just smells. It was great. It
sounds fantastic. We I'm going to Sorrento in September. It's
lovely.
It's Her Majesty's 50th, and so that was the plan. Although probably I will fuck up some part of my body, preventing me from travelling, because it seems to fucking happen a lot. Just there's always some reason.
Well, let's hope you don't.
No, never. I've never been to Italy, actually.
I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it. Cool. Well, that sounds brilliant. And then, you did get into perfume because you were telling me about, you were telling us about the AI assisted perfume development stuff. You really have got back into it, haven't you? It's like, I'm going to make perfume.
I have. Yeah. Well,
are we going to get to try some of your the fruits of your labour?
Maybe. I haven't started doing it yet, but I will do.
I'm going to say only good things about it.
Well, I think. Do you know what? I'm not scared of criticism. I'm really not. It's not that I don't want to put stuff out there. It's that I want it to be good, and I appreciate that it's never going to be, to a really sort of high level. I don't know whether that's sort of like attainable or whatever, I don't know, but I will certainly try. And yeah, I feel what I really want to do.
You don't need to put it out there if you don't. You don't even need to send it if you don't want to. You can paint for the sake of painting.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be exhibited.
True,
you know.
But I would kind of like to exhibit it, because the thing about perfume is, yes, it is art, and yes, it's a hobby, and yet it's a kind of vocational thing if you want it to be, but no has to see the light of day. Like a lot of art that I do, or music or whatever, I don't need other people's like validation, or I don't even need them to enjoy it. I just have to do it because it satisfies my muse or whatever, and I just need to get it out of me, and then that's it. I don't really care what happens to it. But with perfume, it's kind of slightly different. I want people to not appreciate it because I've made it and put like time and effort and stuff into it, but just appreciate it because it's a little bit of a waste otherwise, I think, in some sense. I don't know why I feel that way about it, because it's just another medium of art, you know. It's the same as something that might cost you money to make. But no, what I really want to do, and I will say this now because I haven't really mentioned it, because, well, maybe I have, but my final kind of hobby that I really have always wanted to get into, because I do a little bit of glasswork when I went to art college, but not really. I want to do glass, right? So, but the problem is to do proper glass blowing and stuff, you need a huge warehouse basically, and you need other people to help you, because even the smallest piece of glasswork, you can't do it on your own, right? Because there's like furnaces and fucking people to hold the, you know, the various tools and help you with stuff. You need a team of you. That's what I kind of love that like people don't understand that's what goes into glass making. But you can do lamp work, which is on a desk by yourself, but you can only make really sort of small scale pieces and stuff like that. But what I really wanted to do was start getting into that, which again is not a cheap hobby, to develop that to a point where I can make something where I can either buy the flacons in, because obviously I'd need them to be all the correct, you know, sizes and stuff like that, and maybe adorn them, maybe like embellish them with something, and then also so incorporate my leather making that I started doing during lockdown, and also perfume itself. So somehow amalgamate all those things into a brand that's like some artisan shit, where it's got like leather goods. Like basically, it's like that Perfume H hand blown bottle with a Hermes leather sleeve. Correct. And then your own perfume inside. That's it. It sounds very ambitious. That's going to take absolutely no time at all to establish and push at all. I think it's going to be quite cheap and easy, brand-wise, to push that. Yeah. Cheap and easy. So obviously,
I like the cheap and easy approach as well. Well, definitely, you know. Some people would say concentrate on one thing at a time. Yeah, you've not even made a decent perfume yet. Your leather goods are fucking dodgy, and you've never even blown any glass or done any fucking glass. So, like, what are you doing? Fuck those people. Fuck those people, James. People, yeah. So I'm kind of announcing it here that is what my ambitions are to do something like that. Do you have a brand name? No. That for me, no. That for me is going to be just finessed at some point. It doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it does. It makes a big deal. It's not going to be something fucking stupid. But I don't know. And it's kind of not the point. I think the ethos, whatever you want to call it, the like whole vibe of it is the main thing, and I think the name and the loan stuff is just fluff. I think it'd be quite funny if you like so not glass bottles and you had all these finely crafted leather, and then you called it like Billy Womble's smelly plop or something like. Well, smelly plop. You heard it here first, yeah. It may end up with a name like it is me. So I mean, on the subject of naming stuff, I've yet again been recently exposed to Aaron Terence Hughes's perfume naming, and they're all called like cunt and whore.
Has he got one called cunt?
He's got one called cunt, spelled Kunt. It's like, I mean, I don't know. Was he going for Immanuel Kant or was he going for cunt? Either way, it's spelt wrong.
I'm waiting for Rusty Trumpet, personally. That's the one
Rusty Trombone. So apparently there's new ones, Whore Elixir Blue and Whore Elixir Red. And it's like, really? I mean... I don't understand. Why are you like 14 years old? It's like the fucking least edgy thing I could imagine.
Because you're not a maverick, Dan. That's the problem. Whereas Aaron Terence Hughes is a maverick.
It's a maverick.
A fucking maverick. Motherfucking
maverick. He goes on and on about, like how much he knows materials and, he smells the difference between what's classy and expensive and what's not. So he's going against his own brand in such a ridiculous way. It's like he doesn't know who he is or what exactly he's marketing. Like either you're really classy and good or you're not. And if you are classy and good, you don't call your perfume cunt.
Yeah, I think calling your perfumes things like cunt and fanny and slag or whatever else he's got
slag.
They're just like
He has got one called slag, hasn't he?
he hasn't got one called slag.
I'm gonna look them up now. Because I know that the trouble with it is they're so bad that you're not quite sure which ones are true and which ones are like.
I love the fact that you actually thought, oh no, he does have one called slag, I'm sure.
Yeah, let's check. Have you seen how it's a Danny Dyer like clip that was going around, and it's basically said, I think he was on a Harold Pinter play or something once, and it said, he taught me this like technique for like before he goes on this like breathing thing.
I know what this is from. I know
slag.
Was that from the Last One Laughing or something?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah,
on Amazon. Yeah. I mean, I know that this is not necessarily just a perfume podcast. It's more of a sort of cultural dispatch. Alan Nathan Barley. Exactly. It's the Nathan Barley cultural dispatch. But I for some reason, I don't know why I did it. It was completely against my better judgment, but in a sort of a fit of sentimentality, I thought I'm going to spend the £10 and find out what's going on in the world of Danny Dyer, and I basically bought Marching Powder, the movie, on Amazon, and it is fucking terrible. It is one of the stupidest pieces of shit I've ever seen, and I'm so disappointed. But Danny Dyer is always good value.
Do you know, he was great in that. Is it Severance or something? The one where they go on the business, the teamwork weekend, and the bus crashes in the like Polish forest or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That was actually hilarious, and he was funny as fuck in that. He basically took a load of mushrooms, and then when the bus crashed, he's walking around going like, everyone else is obviously like really concerned about the fact they're lost in this forest in the middle of like Eastern Europe or whatever, and he's just walking around like worried that he's pissed himself, and he keeps just going to like, oh look, am I damp? It's just, I feel like I've pissed myself. I need you to check. And like, they're all just like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, I just feel damp. It's fucking magic.
Nice. Couple of right sorts. Okay, so right, I feel like maybe we took a wrong turn somewhere. We haven't actually talked about any perfume yet, other than Aaron Terence Hughes, which
and I can confirm that he does have one called Slut Fuckboy.
Slut, yeah, but Slut was an early one, wasn't it?
And then
that's not the name of one perfume. Slut Fuckboy Cunt, is it?
No. There were ellipses in between that.
Ellipses. ... Excellent. Ellipses. It's the plural of ellipsis, I suppose.
Ellipsi.
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, get fucked. Ellipsi. Right, let's talk something to do with perfume. Ben, Ben, talk to me about perfume, because James will just talk about Italian food.
I got loads of perfume nails, which is really weird, but I got loads. So like 2 new shops have opened in Brighton, which is just madness, because we had none except from a Penhaligon's, and now we've got like 2 like little boudoir shops that are like boutique-y little shops. They're great because they're like within like a stone's throw distance of each other, and I think there's a bit of like rivalry there, but there doesn't need to be, because they both have like a curated stock selection, and they're both different, so it doesn't matter. It's great. So it's a win for the consumer, as we all like. But it's great.
The consumer.
They're both like nice little shops.
Consumer benefits.
Yeah, exactly. No, but they're really nice little shops owned by really nice people. I bought some really cool stuff. But
what are they stocking?
Sorry.
What are they stocking?
Yeah, so all sorts. So the first one that I went in is called Soliflor, and that is like. Well, when I was in there, it was very indie. The only real one that was like a bigger name, if you like, was Arquiste. But otherwise, outside of that, it was like all quite indie and like small brands. The other one is called Wild Iris, and that one has some bigger stuff. I bought some Laboratorio Offlativo from them and stuff like that, and they've also got like Eris and stuff like that. But
nice.
Yeah, so it's great. But they've also got lots of sort of obscure little stuff as well, like Nisaba, who we'll talk about in a minute, because they were great. First thing I bought, anyway, we'll go sort of come back to that. The first thing I bought was Off-White Solution number 7.
Woo!
After that one that you sent us, Dan.
Yeah,
and I thought that
did I send you 7?
No, you sent us
7.
8.
What I sent?
Was the sort of patchouli
What's 7 like?
7's they're fucking magic. It's like
really,
it's really good. I have to send you. It's like a very like.
Where did you get it?
eBay for like 40 quid, and it's like a really soft, like powdery musk, like clean musk, but it. Like white musk kind of thing, but it is quite unusual as well, and it's just like number 8, where you feel like it's sort of normal, but it's a bit off kilter as well. It's there is something. It's not just a plain white musk. There's something sort of peppery underneath it all, which just gives it, pepper and musk. It's sort of weird. It dirties it up a little bit and makes it feel suddenly something different. It's great though. It's really nice, really clean, like really good. I really want to get all of this one now, because like 7 and 8 are both great. So I'm willing to bet that the rest are great as well.
But I mean, you're already on 7 and 8. There's clearly at least 8. I think there's 10 or something.
Oh yeah, I don't want all of them, just the ones from this collection. I think there was I think it was 6, 7, 8 and 9 the ones that are interesting to me. But yeah, no, it's great, man. I really enjoyed that, so I bought that. But yeah, then I went to the shop and I bought a few things. I bought this one, Mabellorama Phoenix Flame, which it probably doesn't make any sense to most people, but it smells a lot like Beaufort's Viet Armis, but much easier to wear. So, but Viet Armis is like this, like really like stanky, smoky, tarry black, like licorice, like. It's. I think it was based after the cargo holes of. East India Company
pirate galley.
Yeah, East India Company ships, basically, which were good as pirate ships. And it does have that vibe, and it definitely smells piratey and like woody, tarry. It's got this opium thing in it, which is this like thick kind of like molasses effect to it, and it smells like that, but easier to wear. It's almost like a toned down, slightly more approachable version. It's got a bit of vanilla in it, which makes it like softer. But it's great. I loved it. It's really interesting. It's still pretty hummy. It's not like it's still pretty out there, but it's a much more wearable version. Like Viet Armis, I almost never wear, because most of the time I think it depends where I'm going, because most people are going to retch at the smell of that. Really, it's not really pleasant. Whereas this is like a pleasant version, but a lot of the kind of core is still there from Viet Armis.
I love the fact that most people just retch.
It's not
just
great.
Like,
Yeah,
the Beaufort one.
What's
the brand called? Sorry again.
Mabellorama. She's apparently she's from England, but she's got this is going to be terrible because she's got Middle Eastern heritage of some sort. Iranian, maybe something like that.
Thomas East, who guested on here in Fliss's stead, I'm sure he was telling me how good her work was. He was really impressed. Yeah, this
is great. It was really good. I think this perfume came up on the Fragrance Awards finalist. It was for independents, I think, or low sort of the people with low distribution numbers or whatever. It was it got
so was it beaten by Whore Blue Elixir?
Probably, yeah. But no, that's great. So I bought that. That was good. That's Mabellorama Felix Flame. I like that a lot. And then from Wild Iris, I bought a couple of Laboratorio Offlativos. One which you'd fucking love, Fliss, the Crest it's called, and it's like, you know, you get those like very like stark minimalist frankincense perfumes that are like churchy or whatever.
Yes,
it's like that.
Yes, I do.
But chuck in the actual church as well, so you've got like, it's a bit earthier, a bit woodier,
bit geosmin in there, and
sort of a damp, sort of like woody earthiness like underneath there,
and then maybe a bit of pew in there. Could you sing?
Yeah, of course I can. It's great. It's still a very like incense forward perfume, and it's like, you know, frankincense is definitely like the main sort of bit, but it just has a bit more to it than that. It has like that kind of like it's almost like, say, people say you get those churchy incenses, and often they're like this like cold white kind of frankincenses, which are fine and they're great, I love them. But this actually is like the church and the incense, if you know what I mean. It's like it smells
like the damp of the stone, and then maybe some wood, the cedar wood.
Yeah, definitely a lot of cedar. Yeah. It's lovely. It's really good. So I was really impressed with that. I bought that, and I like the fact they do them in 30ml as well, because they're 40 quid for like 30ml, and like I don't need 100ml of nothing. So yeah, I like that.
No, not with only 2 sprays to your right wrist every so often.
And then I bought Laboratorio Offlativo again, Van Hera, which smells like Atelier d'Or Lune Feline, that cardamom vanilla one, but it's spicier. So it again, it's like it's this big sort of vanilla and cardamom sort of main driver, really, and that's sort of almost it, which is then Lune Feline is very much like that, you know, it's big vanilla, big cardamom. This has got like a bit more spice to it, it's got a bit more pepperiness to it. The vanilla isn't quite as sort of like gacky.
It's quite chewy, Lune Feline. I like it very much, but I find it really chewy, and if it's anything other than a really crispy cold winter's day, I think it gets a little bit...
Yeah, this is a little bit lighter. It's not quite as like, say not quite as gacky. It's a bit easier like than that in terms of vanilla, and it's a bit spicier. Say it's got the cardamom's the same and the vanilla's kind of similar, but it's got more of a pepper sort of feel to it, like a spices in it, which I really, it was a nice kind of little twist. It's nice. It's really good. I like that.
I'm familiar with that one because I had a few of those sample sets and stuff, and generally it's a black label one, isn't it? Because they all used to have white labels, and then they brought load out with black labels on. It's lovely. It's a really nice one, that one, and I do like that brand, I must say. They've got some good stuff.
Yeah, there was a few from that black label one that I really liked. I would have bought more, but they didn't have the one that the other one I liked. I forgot what it was called now. They didn't have it in stock at the time, so I couldn't get it. But yeah, it was really good.
It's okay though, because it's just round the corner, so you can nip back anytime you want.
So yeah, the last thing I bought. Yeah. Oh, sorry, go on, James.
No, I'm just saying it's great that you've got perfume shops, because
finally,
I mean, anywhere. I mean, if I thought of anywhere that maybe would have, you know, independent perfume shops, it would be Brighton.
It's mad that it doesn't happen until now, right? It's just
well, they'll probably be making a killing, I would have thought, because you know, it's the right place. Just to mention, because I think I maybe mentioned it last time, that there was talk of, because when Debenham shut down in Chester, it's a big, lovely department store that's been empty for ages. They were talking about, we're going to put concessions in there, or we're going to do some kind of cooperative thing, which never came off. It's been sat empty for fucking years, right? And it's like, somebody just please, Harrods are going to take it on, and there's going to be a Harrods Beauty.
Oh,
Nice.
So that's going to be open.
That is incredibly exciting.
It is very exciting.
That's,
yes.
Well, that's good on multiple levels. I mean, it's good for Chester,
yeah.
but it's also good for me because it means that I've got more reason to go to Chester as well.
Why did you? Sorry, you cut out before. It was they were having internet problems. Have you been in Chester today?
Yeah. So all that was kind of random thing, but an American woman that I worked with about 4 years ago, and we got on very well when we worked together, but then we both ended up leaving that company. Stayed in touch, and she happens to be over here for a conference, so I picked her up from the airport basically and just gave her a lift down to Chester, walked around a bit, had a coffee, and then sort of said see you later and headed home. But I did notice,
nice.
I am nice, yes, I'm very nice, yes. Yeah, she was sort of walking around and going, oh my God, it smells so British. It's so British. Look, there's a British dog. A British doggy. Yeah, with apologies to my American friends and stuff, but that basically is how she was behaving. It's just like, she couldn't believe that Chester was a real place and had like buildings that were actually old rather than sort of had been manufactured to look old. And, and it is a lovely place. I noticed, but didn't go in the Penhaligon's store, and there's a Joe Malone, I think, a couple of doors down and stuff. It's not complete dearth of fragrance by any means, but Harrods will be good news, I reckon.
Definitely.
Chester can take it as well. It's quite classy and moneyed, isn't it?
Chester.
Can be.
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
James.
James.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wasn't going to say, but no, it has.
I wasn't going to say, darling.
It's like anywhere, right? It's a very historic, beautiful place, and it is very generally sort of suburban, kind of affluent, I suppose. But it's also got the same challenges of any, inner city. There's fucking spice heads all over the gaff, homeless people, unfortunately. And because it has the Rose, it's kind of a place where they can stay. Do you know what I mean? Like, I fucking feel for them. So it has obviously these two levels of shops. So like one like on the road level, and then like a higher up one. I don't really know anywhere else that has Rose. I'm sure it's a thing, is it not? I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, most people won't understand that. I don't think it is quite odd. It's like literally two shops stacked on top of each other. There's a whole kind of mezzanine level to the high street. It's bizarre,
which is cool because you can pack in like twice as much stuff into like one street. But loads of shit. Yeah. So no, I mean it's some place. It's like a Roman. It's got a lot of history, and like the oldest pub has been like going for 1,000 years. I'm not even joking. Like, it's been continuously open, maybe 800 years, something like that. That's mental, isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like proper history. And so I'm like proud of living in Chester. Whenever I go anywhere else, I'm like, I'm fucking glad that I live in Chester. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're back and you're like, I live in a pretty good place. But like say, it's still like anywhere else. A lot of the shops are fucking empty. It's a shithole. And because it's got this well-to-do sort of image, they demand a lot for the prices of the shop. They're just filling with anything. Well, it's a lot of vape shops and fucking, charity shops and stuff like that, because they're the only ones that can. And I'm sure that's the case across the country. In fact, it's a lot worse in other places. So the fact that we can have a Harrods or whatever is still good, but it's not all sunshine and rain. But it's like anywhere else.
Nice. Well, Chester, I thought was lovely, and Harrods will be a treat. Ben, as well, by the way, as having new perfume shops, you also have a new resident big-time perfume influencer. Clemence is now one of your number, part of the Brighton flock.
Part of the flock, yeah. No, I met her the other day. So I went to Wild Iris, the other perfume shop. They do a Sunday social thing where once a month everyone can get together in the back room, because the shop's quite small, but it's got quite a big, well, it's a kind of smallish back room as well. It's like, and I saw that and thought, oh, that's quite cool. Maybe I'll go there one day. And then I found out that actually they're one of the things that the lady wants to do is also have like perfumers and like brand people come in and talk about their brands and shit. And she did the first one on like a Friday night a while back, and I went along, and it was for a brand called Nisaba, right? I should try and do justice, right? Because the guy who ran it used to work for Firmenich, right? And he was the guy who, one of his jobs was like going around like sourcing ingredients and things like that. But he also did a lot of stuff like to do with sustainability and things like that, like setting up like small kind of initiatives in like sort of like third world and stuff like that, like for like farming and things like that.
Fair trade,
that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really probably doing him justice, but so he's decided to start his own brand, and it's quite an interesting brand. The vibe behind it is like, rather than like come up with like a brief for a perfume, basically he chooses an ingredient, and then he chooses decides like where is like that. So take lavender for example. It's like, where's the best lavender grown in the world? It's like Grasse, right? So then you sort of go from there. So then he uses like all the other naturals are like local as well, so they all come from the place they're called. So I bought this one called Provence, right? And everything comes from like Grasse or around Grasse basically, or not everything, but like the naturals that are in it. Obviously there's a lot of other stuff that isn't like that, but the naturals all come from that one particular region, and they're like sustainable brand, and like 5% goes back into like farming, and he's setting up like all these like initiatives for like farming and things like that, and works like with the like ingredients, the producers basically, like quite closely, which is great. And I think one of the things that I thought really interesting was in his like, because he had like a slideshow up, right, and he was talking through it, and on the first thing he was talking about, what was his first thoughts when he was making the brand. And firstly it was that he didn't want the ingredients to limit, he didn't want to put a price on like the ingredients basically. Like he didn't want to say like, right, this formula has to come in under £4 or whatever. Like it was like he just wanted to make nice ingredients, because like he said, like actually the stuff in the bottle is actually quite cheap, so like he wanted to like try and sort of not be limited by cheap ingredients or whatever. And then the other thing that he said that I thought was quite interesting was he wanted to be like true niche. So like if he was going to be a niche, he wanted it to be niche and not worry about trends or any of that shit. He just wanted to make what he wanted to make. And like if he picks those ingredients, then that's what it is. Like it's not really because it's he's not chasing trends or whatever. And I thought both of those points were good. How much of it was just marketing, like you don't know, but they were pretty good. Anyway, so then
so what did they turn out? A Tuscan leather clone?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Whatever.
BK
yeah. So then basically like that evening was then everyone sitting around the table. The people who own the shop are lovely. They just kept plying us with like cocktails. Like this guy kept bringing cocktails to me. He's going, do you want another cocktail? And I was just like, okay. And I just kept giving them to Clemence because she was sitting next to me, and I was just like just shoveling them over because I had about 10 of these fucking cocktails in front of me. And yeah, then they would like, he had all of the natural raw ingredients there that they used, like the naturals that they used, and he was like dipping them in and showing, everyone was passing around sniffing whilst he was talking about them. It was really interesting. There was two that I really liked. Anyway, there's 7 perfumes. The 2 that I really liked, because I didn't like all of them. Some of them I thought were a bit shit. But the 2 that I really liked were Provence, which I bought. I bought it off eBay, actually. But because you don't buy retail, do you? But and the other one I really liked was Bereba, which I will buy. And again, Fliss, I think you were like Bereba or Bereba. But basically, it's incense, right? But he showed us they used 3 different types of incense, all distilled from like a different way. So you had like cold press or whatever, and the 3 different distillations of incense. And he said they did it because they decay at a different rate. and some of them like blossom at a different rate. So it kind of elongates the journey of the fragrance, if you like, which I thought was really interesting. And basically passed it around. It was really interesting smelling the differences. This one that I bought, Provence, because that's Bereba is basically very incense, very earthy, very incense. That's about it. But great, like really great. What I thought was really interesting about it was that, again, it's got that frankincense feel to it, but it was not churchy in the least. It smelled like a desert. It was brilliant. It was like a dry, arid desert, like earthy, sandy. It was really good. I really liked it, and I'll buy that as well because it was excellent. And this one I bought was Provence, and fuck me, this is so good. You're all gonna get samples. This is fucking incredible. I'll just tell you, right, because you'll all hate it, right? And lavender is the main ingredient to this, right? Lavender.
No, but I love
Fuck me, you've not smelled anything like this, I swear to God. This is incredible. It's mint and lavender, and there's some other things as well, but basically it's mint and lavender, and fuck me, is it incredible. All of his perfumes that I really liked were like, they're not, Dan, I don't know if you'd like them, because they're not like, I know whenever you send me perfumes, they're always like rich and sort of like quite dense, right? Like very expensive smelling stuff. And this doesn't really have those vibes.
No, fair enough. Yeah,
like I wouldn't. It's not that it's not expensive smelling, but it's just really quite light, and like it reminds me of those, like, it's a bit cliche to say it, but Jean-Claude Eleanor's kind of like effervescent kind of watery lightness. They all had that kind of vibe to them, but this one is just fucking. For a lavender, I'm not even a big fan of lavender, but fuck me, it doesn't even smell like lavender. It's like, he showed us the natural ingredients, and one of them was called Lavender Diva, and it's just like this like tart, fruity, spicy thing. It's fucking incredible.
But I think lavender, I mean, you know, like when we did the vetiver raw materials, and we were amazed at that, the breadth of the differences in those 5 or 6 materials that we smell. I think lavender is the same, and we have like a really preconceived idea about what lavender smells like.
Yeah.
Even if you just, like in my garden, I've got English lavender and French lavender, and they smell completely different.
Yeah. So this has 2 different types
and
of
that's
lavender.
just 2 lavenders I've got in my garden, let alone all of the different varieties, and then how you distill them, or how you know, whatever, extract.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as just saying a note and then knowing how it's going to smell at all.
Yeah. So this has 2 types of lavender in it. I smelt them both, and one of them was like, you kind of like what you expect from lavender, and it was lovely, but it was what you expect. And then this one was just like something else. It's this really like tart spiciness to it, and it really works well with the mint as well, which is, you know, mint in perfume is quite unusual, but I think it works really well. It's lovely. It gives it a real freshness. Like,
I mean, I'm assuming it's French lavender if it's sold.
Yes, it's from grass.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Provence.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be. They might grow Spanish lavender there. I don't know. They might grow all different types.
So apparently the Lavender Diva, I don't know for sure. He did. I sort of zoned out a little bit, but he was talking about how it's like a newer strain that's like they've had to grow in grass, because apparently a lot of the original lavender is getting eaten by bugs, and so they've had to like grow this new strain that is like bug repellent or something.
Right. I thought you could say it's like been eaten by like,
the locals.
The locals, yeah. People just going out shoveling this lavender in their gobs. Greedy twats.
Yeah, no, bugs apparently. But yeah, so that's that. And yeah, the brand. I mean, I know sort of, I don't want to sort of suck them off too much because I went to see something or whatever. But I was really impressed. They out of the 7, I think 5 of them I liked, and 2 of them I didn't like at all. And 2 of them were like that I wanted to buy. The other 3 I was like, yeah, good, they were good, but not really for me. And there were 2 that I just didn't like. But the 2 that I liked, I thought were fucking brilliant. And I really want you guys to smell this one because it's great.
Okay.
And I think the bottles are
lovely. You seem really excited, Ben. I have to say, I haven't seen you this animated.
It's just great. I mean, I smelled so much great stuff. I mean, some of the stuff at Dancing we'll talk about later was just fucking brilliant as well.
Well, but, here's what's really weird about Ben's enthusiasm for it. It isn't some giant kind of egregious fucking turd smelling like,
this smells gorgeous. It's lovely. It's really fresh and like light and just like really nice smelling. Like it would not offend anyone. It's
describe Ben's ideal perfume? Well, it's lavender, it's fresh, it's light, maybe a little minty. Nah.
What have you done with
Smells
Ben?
like a badger.
Yeah, exactly. Smells like roadkill. Well matured roadkill. Okay, good. Well, that sounds fantastic. It's good to know that perfume is alive and kicking in both Chester and Brighton. Fliss, let's go to...
I actually went to the place as well, and I met
met
people, which was nice. Like Clements was there.
Actual people.
There was a bunch of other people I didn't know that were there. And there was Olga from the group, was there, trusted group. So that was cool. And a really diverse mix of people, like really diverse. I mean, I was like the only person like my age and me there. I suppose Clements was kind of...
You were the only person that was you.
Well, there was like older than me. Everyone else seemed quite a lot older or quite a lot younger. And there was like an autistic guy with like ear defenders on and stuff who was like obviously really into it. And there was like, it was a really diverse crew.
Really?
It was great. And basically everyone just got really pissed on cocktails and smelt...
that sounds... like that does sound great.
So yeah. So anyway, that was
so... a moment of kind of self promotion, I guess, but I've been invited to do something. No, so Parfum La Dance. Parfum La Dance, which is a new store in Richmond in Surrey, are stocking Soma, and they've invited me along to do a similar sort of thing.
So now you've got to be the man that does the talking.
Exactly.
Wow. Have you got a PowerPoint made?
Well, I could probably rustle one up.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. PowerPoint the shit out of this. So no, it does sound good.
Just don't leave it in the office, because you know Dave will slide in a little slide of his own wearing like just his pants or something, and you'll click it and they'll just be like Dave like in his pants.
Dave in his pants, yeah. What's that doing there? How did that get in there? Yeah, okay, good. Anyway, that was my moment of self-promotion. Right, let's go to the other side of the country, please. East Coast. What's happening in Margs, Fliss?
Well, no perfume shops, obviously.
Naturally. Didn't the last one get hounded out of the town by the locals?
I don't know. But I have to rely on the kindness of friends, and the duck came up trumps on our sabbatical, and he sent me his sample set of Healy, sort of every single thing in the range, little samples, and I was going through them, and I'm not going to sort of like talk about them all. Obviously, the standout for me was Cocobello, which is like a really proper grown-up coconut, and it's kind of got a green, almost musty huskiness to it, but it's also creamy, and it's dry, and it doesn't step into that sugary coconut gourmand space that you kind of think of when you say coconut. And I bought a 20ml decant, and I've been wearing that steadily, and it's just really nice. And I'm not really a gourmandy person like that sweetie gourmand, but I have been really enjoying that. And then the other stuff from that range, I just think that whole range is absolutely solid. There's not a single one of them that I didn't like. They might not all be for me, but I just think they're really smart, modern British perfumery with like a classical grounding. They all feel really well made, really well thought out. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't there a Healy that you bought recently, James?
Yes. Sorry to interrupt, Fliss, but I may as well say this one like not on my bit, because I was going to mention it anyway.
Yeah,
I got this cologne.
A Cologne Fischer.
Finale. Which is just fantastic. It's like a kind of modern Eau Sauvage type, masculine, fresh, sheeperish kind of cologne, fresh, beautiful, mossy. It's really nice. It's lovely.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't bought a perfume for fucking ages. So the fact that I got off my arse and went, yeah, I'll actually get that, means quite a lot, because I think they're very reasonably priced, and they're just pretty fantastic.
I've got 3 of the range myself, but I also have been looking, because they do like packs of little 15 ml, and you can then make up your own pack from the whole
that's cool, isn't
range.
it? Where
I
you
think
can pick
that's
them,
a really good way of just getting a little bit more than a tester without sort of like you jumping for a big full bottle. And I just think they're just all really, really solid, and they obviously, I think they fly under the radar a bit, because they're not chasing the influencer crowd, they're not pumping out clones, they're not pumping out stuff that is, fashionable or trendy. They're just
steadily,
good stuff.
And that is exactly it. That they don't feel a need to stay relevant, and it's that thing of like, there's kind of nowhere to sort of hide, and there's no point doing that either, really. There's a lot of brands that have become a cropper kind of doing that, and yes, you can maybe piggyback off some success, or you can have some success, but in order to have real longevity and real love from the fans, that's what you've got to do. You've got to just not rush your releases and do things that are kind of interesting, but not just jumping on a bandwagon, and I feel that is what they're doing, and it's great.
And I would suggest anybody who's interested just to go on their website and pick a handful of samples that you like the sound of and give it a whirl, because I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. There's a cleanliness to them as well, and just a chicness that really appeals to me as well. But they're all different enough. They've all got enough of a twist for me to feel as if none of them are dull. And I really, really like that brand. So that was interesting, having a sort of womble through all of their stuff. And then because of buying the Coco Bello decant, Lena also, because I bought lovely Lena from the group, sent me a whole bunch of other things as well. And I wore, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Choca D, which is Stranger's Parfumière.
Choca D?
Choca D, I don't know. Anyway.
Choca D was one of Public Enemy, I'm sure.
Oh, really?
No.
I don't know.
That was Chuck D, I think. But
really?
Choca D.
I don't know.
Chocodemus and pliers.
That was it.
Choca D.
CHOKEDEE.
Okay.
But it's a Prin, and I have been avoiding anything by Prin since I smelt Sombre, and I know that he gets a lot of love on the groups, and I just sort of have never been able to forgive him for the Sombre situation, and so I've kind of just bypassed him basically.
I mean, Sombre aside, every Prin I've smelt has been not easy. I've got one called Burning Ben, and it's pretty spicy.
I've got a sample of that. Anyway, but this is another coconut, but it's really good. It's like toasted rice, coconut. There's almost like a biscuity bread flourness to it, so it feels sort of like that kind of quite dry gourmand. But then there's this sort of wet floralness that happens as well. There's sambac, there's vanilla. And it's sweet without being sickly, and it smells tropical. It smells like a coconut that's been cut open, as opposed to a coconut pudding, if you know what I mean. I really liked it, so I am going to have to eat my hat and say I need to try more Prin. Basically, I need to.
Don't eat your hat. I mean, imagine how much damage that will do to your digestive tract.
I know, but there we go.
The problem is,
so I need to try more Prin.
The problem is with Prin,
anyone's got any suggestions?
He's got as many bloody brands as he has like individual perfumes. Like, it just seems to like change to another brand. Like, I'm starting a new brand, new line, new bottles, new everything, to the point where I don't think. So if you do like something, it ain't going to be around for long, because he'll probably just fuck off and do another brand.
Is that Is that like sort of house music artists releasing different sort of styles under different aliases,
different labels
imprints,
and stuff. Yeah, so it is kind of like that. I think that's how I interpreted it. But he has got some good ones. He's got some that gave me like almost like flashbacks to weird things, and I seem to recall. But like, you know, there's not a great deal of like polish there. They're blatantly, you know, indie perfumes. But there are some really good, like, wow, this is weird, I suppose, kind of ones. And yeah, there are some really good ones. So I like the fact that they do all have themes, and they all have, like, you know, quite sort of diverse, different, like, briefs and things. So yeah, I appreciate the artistry, and there are some good ones of Fliss that I'll have a look through my reviews.
Have a look and send me a list. I'm interested to understand him more as a perfumer, because after Sombra I just really dismissed him as a bit of a twat, to be fair. Thought, what's the fucking point, you numpty? This is just vile, disgusting, you know, showing off. Basically just like, you know, just being an actual cunt as opposed to putting it on the front of a bottle like the other one. And I just so I dismissed him, and actually now I think I've jumped to too many conclusions, and I should learn more before I actually have an opinion, because at the moment my opinion is based on one perfume of his. So,
but if you think about it, those perfumes do well for them in terms of like promotion, don't they? Because you think a lot of the times, like it's the really stanky perfumes that people talk about a lot, like Oud Infinity and Sombra and Secretions Magnifique and stuff like. And I know that, you know, it's usually spoken about in a negative light, but you know, all kind of, what is it? All news is good news, or whatever it is. You know, like if people are talking about you, people are talking about you. So I don't know if I'd have heard of Prin if it wasn't for Somber. Though.
I think there is something to that, but these concept sort of perfumes are all kind of well and good, but they are really just kind of, they're just sort of showing off a kind of virtuosity in kind of making smells and something for people to talk about, like, ooh, this one smells of jizz. Oh, great.
Well, exactly. Sombra's not a perfume. It's vomit accord, blood accord.
Yeah, it's horrible. It smells like the bins. You know, when I did a review for it years ago, when I used to work at Sainsbury's when I was 16, I had this fuck off trash compactor out the back. Trash compactor. You know, like compactor.
Yeah, hang on a minute. You got all American then. Hey, it was a trash compactor.
You know, like a massive, but it seems a bit weird to call it a bin, do you know what I mean? Because it was this fucking massive thing it compacted, and it would like compact it all, and then out the bottom you just get this like juice would like leak out, and that's what Somber used to smell like, that bin juice.
That's not.
I used to work on landfill sites sometimes. I'm fucking glad I don't anymore. And you used to have to clean up this stuff called leachate, and it's it literally looks like crude oil, and it's like the water and all the shit that comes off the landfill, and it can get into water courses. It's like quite, you know, it's quite a bad thing. And yeah, you need some serious kit to clean that shit up.
Bet you do.
But yeah, it's grim.
Oh,
it's
I feel
grim.
Yeah, this is no leachate. This is no fun, guys. This is no fun.
Right, you know what's weird, right? So I live opposite the landfill for the city, right? Like all of the city's bins go opposite my house, and weirdly, like they've tried to make it so you don't see it. Like there's big trees in the way, there's a big wall going around and stuff. But obviously, there are days where you can smell it, right? But I quite like it. It's like it's this really like tart, acidic kind of smell. And then like a few times a year, they obviously like do a massive disinfectant of it, and the whole area for about 2 days just stinks of this like chemical disinfectant. And I love that as well.
Right. So look, if there was this hypothetical situation, right, where somebody held a gun to my head and said, tell me which of Les Oderants likes the smell of landfill and the chemical cleanse thereafter, I would without hesitation say Ben. I mean, you know, it's the least surprising revelation ever. Okay, can we talk about something nicer? Fliss, any other perfume news you'd like to report?
The other nice one is that I had to go through the airport to go to Dublin, and I discovered, let me get this right, Chloe Nomad Jasmine Natural Intense. Which is quite a mouthful.
That's
I know, and I'm not really a Chloe fan, but this Jasmine Natural Intense is lovely, and supposedly it's all naturals, but I don't know if it is or not. But anyway,
it's a Chloe that's on like shelves in a normal places.
Shop, yeah.
I mean, it could be, but I doubt it. I mean,
I don't know. Well, might have a little look it up, but that was the marketing for it. But it's lovely. It's very, very jasmine-y, really thick, almost like night blooming jasmine, but it's then got some like fruity bits of pear and mirabelle. It's got a lovely vanilla bottom, lovely sandalwood, bit of oat moss, bit of patchouli. It smells kind of
I've got a vanilla bottom, by the way.
Never been touched.
Never been touched.
Mine is far from vanilla.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
We're my jest.
Oh, dear.
It smells a bit like Guerlain terracotta, if anybody knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells a bit like that, but it's more jasmine-y and ever so slightly less beachy, but it's of that vibe. And yeah, I get a bit, obviously, everyone knows I get a bit snobby about some designer stuff, and especially sort of more modern releases of designer
Really?
stuff. Really snobby about. And I love it. It's really nice, easy wear. It smells great, especially as the sort of like
Did you
sun's
buy it?
heating up. On eBay, I didn't.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Yeah.
But you liked it enough to go and buy it.
Yeah. But,
How much did you pay
which
for it?
really surprised me. I think it was £37.
Okay, that's
Wow.
nice.
Yeah.
Tidy.
I mean,
Yeah,
let's say that
tiny.
is naturals, right? Which, I mean, probably isn't entirely, but, that's fine. If the main...
May have some.
Well, if the main core of it is jasmine and it's using proper jasmine oil, that's really cool. And I always think this, right? That, like, yes, okay, it's an expensive material, but when it's so powerful and it's so evocative and it's so it does so many things in a formula that I don't understand why even just a tiny amount couldn't be, you know what I mean? That doesn't surprise me. That they could use it in a popular like perfume or whatever, bolstered with some other stuff. But yeah, I'm just sorry because I was going to say before we started talking about fucking landfill sites and stuff, was that I actually think, have you ever worn Somber on your skin and not scrubbed it off?
After a bit, it smells
It
alright.
smells of jasmine.
No, I mean,
it smells
are
of
you fucking
jasmine.
kidding me?
Yeah, like
You have to give it like about 10-20 minutes, but then it
How
smells
can you
fine.
give it 10-20 minutes? You'd be sick by that point. I think.
yeah. I think
Well, strangely,
I sprayed it on a bit of toilet roll, and I had to take the toilet roll out of the house and put it in the bin outside. It was that bad.
I remember
couldn't
doing the
even
same
put it
thing.
in the bin in the bathroom or the bin in the kitchen. I had to be out of the house.
Persevere with it on
And
your
even
skin
Then, the sillage
somehow.
of death
Yeah.
was just. Ugh.
So the other thing as well with it is I remember I did the exact same thing. I sprayed it on one of these like dabber like smelly things, strips, right? And I had to throw it out the window because it was just rank. So and then like that day my mum came over for coffee in the evening and I was like, "Here, mum, wear that, you'll love it." And like just gave her the sample and just thought it'd be a piss take. She sprayed it and she went, "Oh, that's nice that." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I sniffed it on her on like my mum's wrist and it was just jasmine. It was like nothing rank at all. It was really weird.
That's why
on me it smelled rank for about 20 minutes and then it was okay, but on my mum it was literally immediately, it was like just smelled like jasmine.
That's why I give it some credit as a perfume, because I think it's sort of exploring the really awful indolic side of it, but then it does just become this kind of salty sort of jasmine skin scent kind of thing, which is actually really, really nice. But I'd say the horrible sicky like mingingness lasts for about an hour. I remember spraying it on and doing I think I did a video at work. I remember being at work and just being like, this is fucking gross. What's the point in this? It's stupid. It's not really a perfume. It's kind of all done just for a gimmick. Don't like it. I hate it. And then I was like, oh, actually, like an hour later, that's gone and it smells of jasmine. So I found that quite sort of interesting, because it has to be, ultimately, you can't just make something that smells fucking disgusting and doesn't have any other likable stuff to it. Maybe you can. Some perfumers do, I suppose. But yeah, sorry.
So I'm just looking on the Chloe website here, and it says blah blah blah, Nomad Jasmine, natural intense, and 100% natural origin eau de parfum.
Okay, that's a bit cryptic.
100% natural origin. I mean, that's
it's a little cryptic, isn't it?
Because you can. You shove anything.
Okay.
Anything's natural origin. If it's in the world.
Yes.
Anything's a natural origin. Yep.
Yeah.
Anything is a dildo if you try hard enough. Right. I have to. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. I now have to go.
Vanilla bum, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Right. I tell you what. I'll explain in part 2, because I'm going to have to wrap up part 1, because my 94-year-old neighbour, who's mad as a box of frogs, is at the door demanding help with his iPhone. So I'm going to wrap us up.
Hang on. I wish. Fuck your neighbour. Can't I talk about? I've got loads of perfumes to talk about here. What are you talking about?
We're going to talk about them in part 2. Okay. We're going to be back in just a few minutes with part 2 of Les Oderants. Bye.
Bye.
Hello and welcome back to whatever it is, part 2. Yes, part 2 of Les Oderants. Apologies for abruptly tying up part 1. My 94-year-old neighbour was confused by his iPhone, and here's my cross to bear. So I ended up having to sort that out. Anyway, we're now back recording, which is wonderful news. But I cut James off before he got to tell us all about his perfumes. So James, of Bloated Aromas, the floor is yours.
Okay, so what I was going to say was that I actually wore loads of perfume, and I was a bit more, like I say, I've been a bit on a downer and, whatever, and I'm a bit more enthused about perfumery, and a bit more, not because of anything in particular that I've tried, just my own personal, mindset has gone. There were some days where I wasn't even wearing anything, and that still occasionally does happen, but, most of the time I'm back on board, so that's good. But I haven't really written any of these down. You think I should write down each day what I wear and then maybe fucking say it, perhaps like a full 14, maybe.
Something like that.
Maybe that might come back. So that's probably why I used to write them down, because I won't fucking remember otherwise. I will remember. Right, so today, my scent of the day today is by Kilian Old Fashioned. Has anyone tried that?
No, this is one of the newer releases, isn't it?
I don't know. I bought this Cologne Officinale, and I got sent some samples. So they sent me this Old Fashioned, and it's actually in the same line. So it's those ones that look those kind of cut crystal,
Angel
like whiskey glass.
Yeah.
Angel Share, yeah. So it's in that line, and along with the apple brandy on the rocks or whatever it's called, which is quite shit, that one. It's all right, I suppose, but this one's actually pretty good. It's the thing is about those boozy fragrances, I kind of feel like I understand why Kilian are going down that route because of the Hennessy connection. And I get it. An Angel Share was clearly a very popular perfume. Not that I thought it was that great, but there's an inherent sort of cheapness. I don't know why I feel that about them. I just like, yeah, it's a boozy fragrance. Yeah, it's nice. It's got that like steeped wood, like cedar wood. This has like tolu balsam and stuff like that, so it's kind of like a spicy, has some like sweetness, but it's actually really nice. When you first spray it on, you're like, wow, this is fucking really nice. And then it just becomes this kind of vanillic, slightly just a booze thing. But I actually pretty much liked it. So, but it's a little disappointing, I'll be honest. One thing that I did get was the Affinescence base set, and we know that I love the ambergris one because it basically smells like really dirty, greasy ambergris. But there's some other ones in there. So the Santal Basmati, is it called Basmati? Which is a pretty sweet, kind of musky sandalwood. Very nice as well. The one that I love, I bought the wrong one, but they're both amazing anyway. I own the Queer Kakuma, but I wanted the Cedar Iris one.
Oh yeah,
because there's a material by a French perfume material supplier that I forget now, but they never used to sell hobbyist amounts, but then they started doing it. They're like 3 initials. I can't remember what they're called now, but shout out to them.
Shout out to the 3 initial motherfuckers.
No, but they're fantastic because, again, not to slag off like Pellwall or anybody else who does these things, but they're a little bit like their materials don't feel that fresh. Do you know what I mean? Like they've been kind of sat on a shelf for maybe like longer than they should do. And that's not their fault. That's the fact that there's not many of these people out there doing these materials, but these are the actual manufacturers, I imagine, and their materials always seem really fresh when they come to you. Do you know what I mean? Like they're like they've just been made kind of thing, and they are fucking fantastic. And they've got this Cedar Iris, which smells like natural cedar oil and some kind of iris material just mixed together in a kind of base, and that's exactly what the Affinescence perfume smells like. I'd be interested to know if that's exactly what they use. I don't know if it is, but stunning. And all of those, they're so thick and like there's a vanilla one as well. That brand, okay, you told me the new ones are shit, and I can believe that. But whatever they did with that baseline series, what I liked is that they took maybe 2 elements, like they've gone, okay, we're going to use benzoin and vanilla, which are virtually pretty similar anyways, natural materials, and they've made a perfume out of that. Fine, I can get on board with that. Yes, they're very expensive, but you can smell the quality, in my opinion, and I think they're very good. So just, yeah, I got the discovery set of them, so I'm happy about that. I wore the same perfume for about a week every day.
Wow, what the fuck?
Yeah, never happens that. And it was Prada L'Homme Intense, is it called? You know, the
black one, is that? Black
one, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I own it, and it's nice, but it's one of those kind of Daniela, Andrea, like just minimal iris things. It smells like all those fucking other ones, but it's just really good.
I got a Prada the other day, not that one.
Oh, yeah?
I got one called Cargo de Nuit, which is again, it's a sort of slightly, it's like soapy iris and like ambroxan, I think, and it's one of those sort of weird kind of weird. I don't know. There's something voodoo about it. You know, it sort of smells a bit like a nothing, and then it'll just kind of clobber you in the face with this kind of iris and vanilla-y sort of scent. It's wonderful, and I've been wanting to get a 100 ml bottle. And I posted a thing on Facebook saying, does anyone have one of these for sale? And someone sent me a link to what must have been a misprice because they had them at Selfridges. And I'd seen it and tried it in Selfridges that day. And it's 270 quid in the store, 95 quid on the website.
No.
And, yeah. So I was like, having one of those. Thank you very much. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Prada makes some brilliant perfumes. It showed up as well. I expected that it would be like the 30 ml or something showed up, and mislabeled. So, but no, they just fucked up the pricing. Someone probably got a bit of a slap for that.
Cool. Well, that's you've benefited from it. So that's,
I have benefited. Yeah, someone else's pain.
Nice.
And I've benefited. I don't feel bad about it.
So one other thing, just to mention the wedding again. What did I wear on my wedding day?
Fahrenheit?
No. I wore. Oh, go on. You're going to have another guess.
Did you wear
Cheap Propalatin.
Good guess, Fliss. No, it didn't, but I nearly did.
Les Indomptables? Was it a Les Indomptables?
No, I will put you out of your misery.
Go.
It is Encens Mythique.
Oh, really? Why did you go for that? I mean, is that one of your favourites? Because I mean, you don't talk about that one a lot.
No, I don't, because I don't know why I don't talk about it, because it is fantastic. But I don't know. I just like it. It's got that sort of weird ambergris kind of vibe that I like about perfume. It's also very modern and quite screechy and a bit like in your face, but it's so
ideal
it's
wedding
so great. Yeah, well, it is. It cut through everything. You know, I was like, it's my fucking wedding. I want people to smell me. Do you know what I mean? Whether they like it or not.
Fuck you, guests.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, what did Jenny wear? She wore vintage opium secret.
Oh wow!
What's secret? Was that an opium flanker?
A flanker, yes. I've got it here somewhere.
I don't think I know that.
I can't be asked getting up, but anyway,
right.
It was an opium flanker. It's very nice. It's kind of similar to opium, maybe slightly lighter vibes, but
couldn't be much heavier.
So that's what. No, but funnily enough, I'll just say shout out to our pal Dr. Chris Carter, as he played at my wedding, and his band were fantastic, and I'd never met him before, and you know, I knew he'd be like lovely and sound and everything, and he was, and we were having a little chat backstage. I was a little bit worse for wear, I'll be honest.
Really?
And we were in the green room, and he was like, "What are you wearing? Like, what perfume are you wearing?" And stuff. We just wanted to fucking talk about perfume. I was like, "Yeah, mate, fucking."
He got married recently as well, didn't he?
I think he's due to get married.
No,
yeah.
the pictures are already up on Insta. So.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I feel bad now. I haven't wished him congratulations, but I don't think he had, like, I think he must have been really recent that then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shit. I need to fucking wish him well. But no, what a guy. Yeah, really nice chap, and yeah, it was interesting. But he was very, keen to talk about perfume, and I think his band were like, his bandmates were like, "Oh, this fucking guy talking about perfume now." And,
you have no fucking idea, mate. Let's talk about perfume. I think that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, really. I just wanted to say those few things. And
that's superb. Okay, well, there's been a new Ormond Jane release called Vetiveria, which is a retread of one they had previously called Zizan. But it, for some reason, they couldn't produce Zizan any longer. I think there were compliance restrictions, and they couldn't. I'm paraphrasing, but I spoke to Linda about this at Christmas. She told me it was coming, and I told her that Zizan was one of my favourites, and so she told me all about Vetiveria. They couldn't basically get close enough to it to re-release it as Zizan still, so they decided to create a new perfume, and it's more vetiver oriented, but it's very similar though to my mind, and very, very nice, and it comes in this amazing green bottle. I actually got given by Dave randomly a bottle of Gucci Guilty Elixir.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Well, I thought it was nice as well, but it's so you describe things sometimes, James, perfumes as getting annoying, and that one got annoying. Like it starts off smelling quite nice, but it is so persistent, and it's just, there's something about it. Like
it's a bit rough, isn't it?
It is, and it's a bit like
kind of medicinal.
It's a bit like a rough sketch of Reflection, Amouage Reflection, but way stronger. And it's like
are we talking about the same perfume here?
Gucci Guilty Elixir, the one in the green bottle.
Oh, sorry, green bottle, right? Oh, yeah. Sorry, that
one.
Yeah.
It is very similar to Reflection Man, but
it is. Yeah,
it's much more annoying.
It is.
After a bit, it's like, dude, fuck off, will you? Seriously,
I know
fuck
what you're
off.
talking about now. Do you know what it actually reminds me of? And this is coming full circle, foreshadowing and all that we like to do. It actually is not a million miles away from Boss Bastard by our mate Aaron Terrence.
When did you try Boss Bastard?
I tried Boss Bastard. Yeah.
When? You didn't tell me about this.
Somebody sent it me.
You need to find out whoever sent it to you and beat the shit out of them.
I tried it, and do you know what? I thought, okay, he's got a basic kind of fougere like structure, and then made it fucking turbo horrible, and that is kind of what that Gucci is. But I kind of weirdly like it. I think it's a biche, isn't it? Or
I think it might be.
I think it fucking is. You know.
Well, I think. Like 98% of all perfumes on the market now are by Quentin Beach. He's monopolising the market.
He's the new Bertrand Duchefort. There was a point, wasn't there, when Uncle Bertie just had released everything, and now it's Beach.
Yeah.
Now it's Beach. Well, so that one, I guess, was worthy of some sort of note, and I mean everything else basically. Chat about.
I mean, that is a classic example of exactly what I say when I say it was a bit annoying, because what I liked about that was that it initially has all that kind of stuff that you like about the fougere, but then it has all this other shit as well that's like modern perfumes. They have all this stuff that's really cleverly kind of layered into there. And I kind of appreciate that from a sort of technical aspect, but it's also really fucking annoying, and it kind of shifts the focus of the perfume. They can't just do this one thing; they have to do everything now, and that's kind of the problem. But
I'm so tired of beast mode.
Tell me about it.
But he not just like this is beast mode and all the performance bros and stuff. I'm just tired of perfumes that are so strong and so tenacious that you sort of get to a point where you're just thinking, well, I wish this would fuck off. Yeah. It's unnecessarily durable. I don't know. I find it fucking annoying. And I can't think of a better word than annoying, but it's really annoying.
Do you know what? I got something really annoying the other day.
As well, because I think there was one in there that I just was just like, I am done. 48 hours on, I'd had 2 showers.
I think I know which one that is.
I reckon.
Beach may be the culprit there. Go on, James, sorry.
So when my Healy perfume arrived the other day, something else arrived, right? Have you ever heard of an Aztec death whistle?
No, I haven't.
So I ordered an Aztec death whistle because I saw this video right online, and it's this guy who hides in, like, you know where people do like urban exploring and shit like that. He'll like hide in like the roof space of like a place where like kids go and like that, and he hides with this fucking Aztec death whistle, right? And it's this thing. It's a little thing that apparently like Incas used to have this thing, right? So it's one of the, obviously this is like a Chinese fucking mass produced one,
my God.
but it's like a little pipe pipe and you blow into it and it's 130 decibels, right? It's fucking like damages your hearing, but it sounds like the most terrifying scream you've ever heard. Like it's fucking horrible, right? And so I got one. And this guy hangs out in these urbex places and he'll go, look, they're just getting on the ladder there, and they'll be like climbing up to get in this thing, and he blows this fucking Aztec death whistle in like this like cavernous place, and it'll start like reverberating. They just shit themselves and fucking run out of this place. He's got loads of videos of him doing this shit, and I just thought, that's great, I'm gonna get one of those. So it was like 20 quid off Amazon.
I'd love to terrify some kids with my Aztec death whistle. What?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, good. Right, okay.
Before we crack onto like the ones that you sent, Dan, can I just say that I completely forgot a couple of things.
Okay.
Fliss, that what I meant to tell you was that Nisaba Bereba perfume really reminded me of that Nez perfume.
Oh.
Really, I thought it was better, but it reminded me a lot of it.
Oh, in that case, I really
fuck that.
it then.
And I don't.
And the other thing I wanted to, I completely forgot to say, which really annoyed me because I was going to rib Dan for this, like a good one. But basically, when you go out to these perfume places, right, no one knows who the fuck you are, right? Everyone was saying to me, oh, who are you? And I was like, I'm Ben. And they were like, oh, right. And then I'd be like, yeah, I do a perfume podcast. And they'd be like, oh, right. And they'd be like, yeah, with a guy called Dan, Fragrance Weirdo. And then they were all like, oh, Dan, oh, darling. And all of a sudden, I was everyone's best mate because of Dan. Like every single fucking person in there was like, as soon as they heard just name drop Dan, that was it. They were all like all over my dick. Like, oh, brilliant. Your podcast, brilliant. Yeah. Who are you? Oh, you're Ben. Oh, which one's that? They all knew Dan. Yeah. Every last one of them.
I'm sorry. I apologise.
Well, no, I rode your name all night, to be honest. That's how I made friends. I was just like, yeah, I'm Ben, but you're not interested in that. But I tell you who you are interested in, Dan. I know him.
Great. Well,
it's a good job you didn't mention me.
You know,
like, I've got a restraining order against
friends, James. That's the thing. Like,
you're trying to ingratiate yourself with the fucking.
Do you know what? I was looking for something the other day, and the thing that came up on my search was a meet the members or meet the community type link, and it was a link to an interview with you, Jack.
Meaty members.
Meaty members, yeah.
Googling
yeah, I was Googling meaty members. And it was like a meet Houdini, and it was like a little interview with you on Fragrantica, like a bit about James and stuff.
Oh yeah,
and you
that was
wearing.
Before I realised they were like Nazis and shit.
Yeah, but you were wearing a baseball cap and smiling, and I was like, yeah, wow, look at James, all smiley.
Yeah. Oh, that's me.
Right, okay, so look, let's talk a little bit about the perfumes, what I've sent, because I sort of deliberately didn't talk too much about perfume myself in part one, and then we had my crazy neighbour, and then, you know, let's talk part two. So, what happened was... And this is not... so, people will remember... a couple of episodes back where I sent out a bunch of different perfumes, some of which were terrible and some of which I liked, and the idea was, you know, guess which ones I like, and then I slipped a Soma one in, and everyone fucking said how much they hated it, and after, you know, some months of therapy, I was able to face you cunts again, and I thought we'd do it slightly differently this time. This is not, don't worry, none of these are mine or anything, but this is just a list of things that I've actually rather enjoyed over the last month or so that I thought would be worth trying and seeing what people thought about them. And I'm going to sort of throw it open to you guys. Fliss, you've got one that you're poking yourself in the eye with there.
Oh,
so,
no, I was just scratching with my eye with my strip before I sprayed anything on. Can we just start with the Amouage?
I thought you might want to start there. Yeah, okay. So this is Amouage Decision, and it is a new biche. And I think it follows the current biche trajectory of a sort of kind of transparent.
It is decision, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
I thought you'd written reason.
No, it's decision.
No,
Because there is an Amouage reason.
there is an Amouage reason. Yeah, no, it's decision.
Well, it's a good job I didn't buy it, wasn't it? Because it would have been the wrong one.
Wrong one. Yeah, well done. Sorry, my handwriting is really that bad.
It's atrocious. I can't. Do you know? There's, out of the 6 that you sent me, there's only 3 that I actually know what they are, because the others.
For fuck's sake.
And one of them was a guess, because I'm pretty sure it's Clive Christian, but.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, there was a Clive Christian there.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is another biche with sort of transparency kind of top notes, and then this kind of global thermonuclear war sort of base. For me, shades of Purpose, Amouage Purpose. It's got that fruity, incensey jam going on, and it is fucking tenacious. Did you like it, Fliss?
Well, to begin with, I thought, it's not quite me, but I felt like it really sits in the current Amouage wheelhouse. It really, those the 3 Harrods ones that we tested, Luster and Outlands and whatever. It begins and you think, this is, not quite a riff on the theme, but it sits really well within that group as an addition and to the line, and I was quite enjoying it. And then I sort of went, it doesn't really go anywhere. And then about an hour later, I thought, it really is not going anywhere at all. And then about 6 hours later, I was just like, fuck, this is so aggressive. And just, there was no movement to it. It just was still belting out. I had 2 sprays on the back of my hand, and I should have done it on a strip first. I was an idiot. I didn't realise it was a biche. That was my problem. 2 sprays on the back of my hand in the morning. But by the evening, I'd washed my hands about 3 times, scrubbed them. It was still there. Went to bed, got up in the morning, and somehow whatever small amount was left on the back of my hand had smeared itself over the entire bed. The entire bedroom was just reeking of this absolute, just honking piece of shit. And I had to wash the sheets. I couldn't. I mean, it itself is not a honking piece of shit, but what I hate is just the way that it just doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't leave. 48 hours later, it was still on the back of my hand, a lot milder, but it was still there. And I was just like, bloody hell, mate. Beast mode, tenacious, this obsession with longevity has got to fucking go, because I was ready to gouge my own eyes out and rip my nose
You look actually offended by this. You like someone has actually fucking really pissed you off with this perfume.
But they really did. Yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of perimenopausal rage at the moment anyway, but this is really not helping.
Jesus.
Have we coined this term already? But is biche mode a thing?
Biche mode, but it's the bichest biche mode I've ever come across, and I don't like biche anyway. But this is just like, if I met him right now, it wouldn't even have to be a padded quiet room. I'd just take him.
What do you think he's like? Do you think? I always imagine he kind of. Like he's a bit odd. Like he talks really fucking loud or something. Do you know what I mean? Like
he wouldn't be talking much at all after a little chat with me, darling. I tell you.
You reckon he's got a dead strong northwest accent? I'm Quentin Beach, you bastard.
But something that was quite pleasant and fruity and incensey to begin with, I got so bored, and it gave me a headache. I'm done.
Well, my advice is do not try Purpose 50.
Okay.
Purpose 50 is of a similar style. It is toned down somewhat in terms of like the loudness of it, but in terms of like just perseverance and longevity, I could be reporting this from the end of time. Like literally, I'm standing at the edge of like whatever happens when the sun is finally extinguished and all that kind of jazz. And people can still smell the spray that I made in like 2025. So it's fucking bananas how strong that stuff.
How does he do it? What does he put in it in his stuff that makes all of his stuff do this?
Akigala wood, I
Is that
believe.
exactly what it is?
No, it isn't.
It's not.
No.
No.
I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't smelled Akigala wood on its own, but from the description of it and stuff, I can't see that it would just solely be that. And there's plenty of perfumes that list that, which I don't think have the same tenacity or the same annoying base or anything like that. Now, it could be used in different levels. It could be an overdose of that is bad. I don't think it's down to one material. I think it's this thing of using these kind of woody amber materials in like overdose, but really that are just so ridiculously tenacious. I don't think it's the Akajala wood on its own, because it is it's from a process, extracted from real patchouli oil, and I don't think it like. I don't see how it can be that. I don't know, because they say it's like clear wood, but like a new clear wood, and clear wood is not that at all, right? So,
whatever it is, it's like fucking fentanyl, right?
Yeah.
You know, the strength of it is just obscene, and
there is no one thing that could be. It's various different things. His style is very much this kind of sparkly incense. Like, I wore Ganymede the other day. Haven't worn that for ages. My mum fucking nearly like smacked me one, because she was like,
surprised.
"This is awful what you're wearing." And I really like that Tilia one, which has probably got loads of the Akajala wood in it. That's extremely tenacious and quite annoying.
I mean,
I really like that though.
I thought it was quite nice. It's maybe a bit floral for my liking, but I mean, it's fair to say, Fliss, you're not a huge bichette.
I'm not a bichette at all. No. I feel like there is obviously a base that he uses that is his signature. It's almost like you can smell Sophia Grossman's work, or when Jean-Claude Ellen has done something. They're people who riffing on a theme, and I find it really spiky smelling, and I find it sticks at the back of my throat, and I find it sticks at the back of my nose, and I can almost taste it in the air, and it's overly fruity, and it's a bit like having swallowed some pollen or something. It feels to me like I've got hay fever when I smell his stuff. I have, and it makes me angry. In case you hadn't noticed.
well, funnily enough, this one, right, I'm not surprised that it's a biche, and I get that, and it has that incense kind of thing. But it also, if somebody have said that this was by what's the face, Zarokian, Cecile Zarokian, I would have said, okay, like maybe it is, because
she's classier than this.
Do you think because she's done those other amouages? Because the way that the first thing that you said, Fliss, which I completely concur with, is that this fits into the vibe, the new vibe of amouage.
And that's on its initial spray. I feel like it when I first smelt it, I was like, yeah, it really does. And then it just began to like get louder and louder and louder. Whereas those other three, the Outlands and the Luster, they soften, they almost polish, and they meld with your skin. I find all of them really classy, and I love Luster. I know Outlands gets a lot of love on the group, but I find those. They're so classy, and they have a story, and they change with the time, they change with the day. I really enjoy them, and this just feels like
doesn't go anywhere. Exactly what you said. It doesn't go anywhere.
And you begin, you go, oh, that's nice, and then you just realise that there's just this brick is just smashing you in the side of the head for 48 hours.
I agree. Like I say, it's the kind of trickery and the modern like perfume shit that I end up going, I'm trying to find things that I like, but in real truth and reality is it's too expensive, it's far too tenacious in a ridiculous way that is not particularly enjoyable, and it's kind of just retreading over this sort of trope that they've kind of got into. So yes, we praised those other 3 perfumes, but then some of these other releases just seem a bit superfluous to me. They're a bit like, what's the point? You've got another sparkly incense. He's doing them all over the gaff for loads of different fucking... It's making hay while the sun's fucking shining for Biche at the moment.
Well, he certainly
like
is.
You say, he's the new Bertie, and nothing wrong with that, but also it can become a bit tiresome, especially if you don't like that vibe, and I'm not 100% down with it. I was going on about that Bois Imperial one, which is probably one of the worst examples of this shit that we're talking about. I just liked it because it was like, hey, look, you can get a Biche for significantly cheaper. If you like that shit like Ganymede and stuff like that, then maybe you might like this. But I certainly wasn't an endorsement from me, because I wore that Bois Imperial and I was like, I could never wear that perfume again. It's fucking horrible. And yeah, I get that's screechy. This isn't quite at that level of annoying, but it's not far off. I
mean, the only way to wear any of these perfumes is in microscopic doses. You know, like really, like one spray, and that's it. And that sounds. I know that sounds completely counter to how I would normally wear perfume, but you know, because it's so strong and it's so diffusive and so intense that, you know, you're going to be overpowered by it if you wear lots of that perfume, and you're going to get fucking annoyed by it. And it's all well and good saying, oh, well, people compliment me on it and stuff, but I mean, for Christ's sake, are you prepared to sort of suffer through that experience just for the sake of someone saying you smell nice? I think it's too much.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that I only had 2 sprays on the back of my hand, had a whole day, I'd washed my hands a couple of times, but in the morning, my sheets and my pillow smelt of it. And I just thought, how can this be? It means I can't release myself from this smell now until it eventually, the half-life of plutonium wears off.
Until it lets you go.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Until it releases me into the next fresh hell of Biche. But, you know, there's this... I like to be able to change my perfume during the day as well, you know. I like to be able to put one cologne-y thing on in the morning to wake me up, and then make another decision in the afternoon about how particularly I might want to smell if I'm going out or if I'm just going to stay in. You don't get that option. You have to commit to the cult of Biche. If you're going to wear this.
You do. It's a commitment to wear it. I'm interested though, because one of the 4 of us has been very quiet throughout all this. Haven't you, Ben?
Like, predictably, I fucking loved it.
I fucking knew it.
I'm wearing it today, and I think it's fucking brilliant. I absolutely love it. I think it's so good. I get what you're saying about the tenacity, and I've got some other perfumes as well that I like that I really love, like Lover's Tale, Francesca Bianchi, but I almost never wear it because it's like, that's 48 hours basically. Like, But it's great. I love it. The thing I would argue against the tenacity side of it is I think it does calm down, and by like the 12th hour, it is quite a skin scent. Like, it does wear quite close. Like, it's
just the same thing we're smelling.
Maybe, but I don't know. But I love it. I think it's great. I love like the sort of fresh incense, the juniper kind of like side of it is just gorgeous. I love it. I think it's really good. It's the second favourite of the ones that Dan sent me, and there's 2 that I want to buy, a third that I would possibly buy if I was rich, but I want to buy it. I think it's great.
Okay.
I probably will buy it.
So make sure you buy the right one, because that is Decision,
not Reason. Yeah, I thought it was Reason the whole time. Decision.
My terrible handwriting.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. So there's that one that I definitely would like.
I liked it. I did like it. I still like it, but it definitely is one that has to be dosed like really like low down, right? And maybe like just one spray on like your belly something, and then put like a t-shirt and a
Forehead.
sweatshirt over it.
Right on the forehead. Boom.
Forehead's too much. It's just too much, maybe like on your foot or something. So it's quite a long way from your nose, and just maybe one spray, put on socks, pair of welly boots, and then you're probably okay. You should be able to enjoy it then safely. Yeah, enjoy this perfume safely, I say. But no, I enjoyed it a lot. But you definitely have to commit to it, right? You have to be prepared to. All right, well, let's talk about a second one. So, Ben, tell us the second one you want to buy, because I'm intrigued. If you can read it.
Yeah.
You can't read it, can
one
you?
of the only other ones that I could read. Art Meets Art, Sexual Healing.
Oh, nice.
Fucking brilliant perfume, man. Like, so nice. Like I'm quite a sucker for honey anyway. I do love a honey perfume, and this has that, when you spray it, it's got that like really photorealistic, like thick honey. Like really great. But did you think, right, and this might be me feeling a bit mental, but the tobacco, I'm guessing it's the tobacco in it, reminded me an awful lot of that Roger Enigma. Is it Parfum pour Homme?
Yeah. Maybe.
Like the tobacco element to it, like, really reminded me of that. Had that cherry coke almost aspect to it as well. Like, and I mean, to say that they're the same is bananas. Like, they're not.
Yeah.
It's reminiscent though. Like, it kind of like sparked my like kind of receptors. Kind of like, oh yeah, this reminds me a little bit of that cherry cokey thing, but with this like thick honey over the top of it. And I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. And again, like, as soon as I smelt it, I was like, yeah, that's one for the buying bag. Like, I'll be after that. It's yeah, I really enjoy it. So it's quite a simple perfume. It's basically like a sort of tobacco and honey, isn't it? And it doesn't.
It was almost all honey for me. I mean, to me, the honey is like it smells like actual honey, not like that sort of, like that. You get that song, like in Boss, is it Boss number 1 or the original Boss Man, which is like really honey, but it sort of has like an almost ammonia-like pissiness to it. People say pissy, but honey can sometimes go like a bit ammonia-like.
Yeah.
Ammonic? What's the word? What would be the... I don't know what the fucking word is. I don't care. But it can go ammonia-like, and it doesn't. This just smells like actual fucking honey to me. And I sort of... I don't think I'd wear it a lot, but I really enjoyed it for that. I'm super interested. James, did you like this? Because I predicted you'd hate it.
Not particularly, no.
Right, okay. You didn't hate it then?
I didn't hate it. It reminds me of why I liked Tobacco Vanille in the first place.
Yes,
So
yeah.
to
It
me,
reminded me of that a lot, yeah.
it smells a lot like Tobacco Vanille, right? Not to be reductive, because it is the honey element is definitely more at the forefront, right? And my Tobacco Vanille, which I sold, for some reason had this like almost vinegary sharpness, not quite like the ammonia, like you're saying, like I know that pissy thing. It had this very strange, and it never used to, because I liked Tobacco Vanille when I first smelled it fucking years ago, when those Tom Fords like first came out basically, and then I never bought it, and then I revisited it like maybe like 2010 or something, I don't know, and went, oh yeah, okay, I want to get that, and then I bought a bottle and it was never quite the same, and I was always like, that's something off about this. And this smells more, to me, more like the elements that I enjoyed in the original Tobacco Vanille. But the weird thing about honey, it's like an acquired taste. It's like I'll sit there wolfing down olives, right? Fucking love olives. But people go, what do they taste like? I'm like, disgusting. Like, they're not that nice. They're pretty bitter and horrible, but I fucking love them. Like, I don't know why. And it's that thing that I have with honey that I'm always like, I don't really like eating honey. I don't really like the smell of honey particularly. It always used to make me feel like sickly. Like we used to go and pick up like fresh honey from like people who kept bees down the road, and their whole house stank like honey and like beeswax as well. And like it's such an evocative like smell. It either knocks you sick or so. I think I had a thing from it when I was a kid. I'm finally acquiring that the like of it, yeah. So I do like this, right? But as a perfume, I'm like, yeah, it's a tobacco. It does have that slight cherry thing to it as well. But what I found with this is it's just, to me, is a better version of tobacco vanille, essentially. And if you want that and you want a hyped up like honey vibe, I mean, if you want the best honey perfume ever, just get Slow Dive by
Hiram Green.
What's his face?
Hiram Green.
That's the best one there is. Completely different vibe to this, but
Sorry, you go.
Oh, well, I was just going to say a side note about Hiram Green was he said he did a post on Instagram saying something like, no cool brand name for me, just my name. And I was like, yeah, that's all well and good when you got a fucking cool name like Hiram Green.
When your name's Hiram,
yeah. Oh yeah, no cool name. Yeah, fuck
from
off,
my cool
Hiram. Yeah, exactly.
That's a Jewish name, Hiram, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
I'm only going off Curb Your Enthusiasm when he has that lawyer called Hiram Katz, who basically like he loses all his fucking shit because he finds this guy. Oh no, I won't go into it. But yeah, Hiram.
Right. Yes, I think it is. And Green would almost certainly be a contract.
Is that a Jewish name as well? Yeah.
Well, no. Green would probably be a contraction of an older name, like Greenbaum or Greenstein or something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry, Fliss, go.
I was just picking up on what James was saying about real honey. My dad used to keep bees, and so that the honey you get in the supermarket doesn't smell like real honey. It's been adulterated with a lot of like often sugar syrups and stuff, and it's also been boiled, so there's pasteurized and everything. But real live honey is quite animalic. It has a real mustiness to it, and I think that this has that mustiness, but it's almost too sweet to be completely photorealistic honey. It's sweeter than it should be, I feel. And I kind of like that mustiness, but the underlying sweetness of it, I found it quite headachy, and I think I'd like to cap sniff it or to have it on a strip or whatever, but I don't think I could wear it.
I don't know.
This is one of the only ones I did wear. I did actually wear it. And, I didn't find it massively enjoyable. It was okay. What I do like about it is that it's called Sexual Healing, which is just cool.
All of their perfumes are named after songs, and it's sort of inspired by. And just a little sort of side note on the brand. I mean, I've done a few pictures of the bottles on Instagram and stuff. I think they are brilliantly styled. They are. The boxes are sort of simple with like just a little bit of colour, and I think they are the epitome of minimalist styling done well. It doesn't look cheap or anything. It's minimal. It's black and white with a little splash of colour. And a name like Sexual Healing could come off as twee, but within the context of kind of they were trying to capture Marvin Gaye's kind of
the
honeyed tone. Exactly. It sort of makes sense.
So the thing is, the reason I haven't bought this yet, the reason I didn't buy it immediately was because it's got a bowl that says Sexual Healing right across the front, and I was like, I don't really want that on a shelf. People are going to look at it and think I'm mental. And I love Marvin Gaye. What's Going On is like one of the greatest albums ever made.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know,
I mean, all the songs sound the same, but it is a great
that's
album.
fine because it's amazing, right? It's like,
If you like one,
They're all
you
in
like
the
them
same
all.
key. They're all like the same rhythm,
don't they? Like one to the other, like they blend into each other. Like
that is amazing. Like it's like a concept album, isn't it? So, yeah.
I agree with you, Ben, though, because I absolutely agree. I feel as if I totally get what they've called it, sexual healing, and that whole kind of Marvin Gaye and honeyness of it, but I think there's so much other stuff on the market, like all the ATH stuff that is just doing it for the fucking hell of it, and then there's all of that kind of
All the what stuff?
Terence Hughes, you know, whatever.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. I understand. Sorry. I thought.
There's a way.
Sorry. I thought you were trying to tell me you would rather buy an Terence Hughes than an.
What I'm saying is, it's really. I think they're treading a very fine line between being a classy brand, but then the name. The first thing that hit my head was all of the ATH stuff and that kind of bro kind of tacky, and I feel as if they might have misstepped a bit on the name, which is a shame for me, because I'm the same as Ben. I don't think I would want to have a bottle that said sexual healing on it, just because it feels like it's. I know that they said that they're meant to. They're having some fun with it. It's because I made a comment on their post, and they were like, "Oh, we're just having some fun," and I was like, "Yeah, I get that you're having fun, and I understand where you've come from, but if you look at the perfume." The perfume as a whole, or you know, the community as a whole, or whatever, those names sit somewhere else, and I just wonder if there was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Any idea who the perfumer is?
No.
I will tell you. It is Christophe Reynaud.
Oh.
So Christophe Reynaud, notable for. I don't know, really. Lots and lots of stuff.
I know what you're saying, though, Fliss. That name would not be out of place on a Montal or a Mancera bottle or something. Would it? Do you know what I mean? And definitely a fucking. Well, no, that's too classy for Aaron Terence Hughes.
Yeah.
Is it be called like
sexual molesting?
Oh my god!
Sexual transmission.
Oh god!
That could be the next Amouage. No.
Oh please! Right? Okay. Let me move you on to the other Art Meets Art then, which was Lilac Wine. Now I don't know whether you can read that on your bottles, anyone. But
I guess that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lilac Wine is a lavender, violet, and plum. Mm-hmm. And I sort of rather like it. Strangely, the first thing and I don't think Fliss is going to like this one, because the first thing I thought when I sprayed it was Polo Sport. I don't know why, but it has a sort of blue kind of, maybe just the lilac name is suggesting it, but it has a sort of bluey, sporty fragrance type hue to it.
Yeah.
It absolutely does, and for that reason, I'm out.
Okay, right, well... well, you're not going to make any money. I'm out. All right, yeah, good. I once saw Duncan Bannatyne at the airport in Portugal once, and I was too shy to go and ask him for his autograph. There you go. I should have done, really. Right, Fliss is out. Ben, James, what did you make of it?
Sadly, this is going to sound really wanky, but I've been wearing a lot of that Nisaba Provence, which was like lavender as well, and so so I just at the moment I think it needs to be, you know, that Nisaba just knocked this into a hat, basically, like for lavender, and I just didn't really care for it, because I was like, if I'd wear a lavender fragrance, it would be that Nisaba Provence. So if I'd have smelled it at a different time, I don't know if I'd give it more, because it's not a bad fragrance. And weirdly, I like that kind of bluey kind of side to it, but at this precise moment in time, I think I've been wearing too much of that other lavender perfume to give this one any time. So I didn't really like it that much, but maybe that's a bit harsh.
It's entirely up to you what you make of it. I mean, I really enjoyed it, but the joy of this bullshit is that it's entirely subjective. So, I mean, Fliss is out. Ben is kind of not exactly in. James, where are you? Are you shaking it all about?
The arbiter's going to wade in with his fucking size 13s now, right?
God.
I'll tell you what. I like it.
Really?
Do you know what it's... Yeah, do you know... It's...
Do you wear size 13 shoes?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's a big old foot.
Just wow. Okay. Is that another one of your fetishes? Can I just remind you, Dan, that you googled meaty members earlier and you got a picture of me. So I mean, anyway,
Jesus,
right,
that's a pair of flippers, mate. Size 13. Fucking hell. That is going some. I thought I had big feet.
It's the issue. It's not the length. It's the girth.
I wear a 10. I thought that was a fucking good size shoe, but no, 13s. Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah.
Right.
So, anyway,
go on. Kick it with your 13s.
It's most reminiscent to me of Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce, and
yes.
But very much less metallic-y.
Yes, I hadn't made that connection at all. But yeah, totally.
Totally those, but this is a much more kind of cleaned up version. So, and again, Ben says about lavender, I wouldn't really classify this as a lavender. Yes, it has a lavender like top kind of note to it, but I think it's very much like clary sage, and then this kind of fougere sort of like, you know, soapy kind of like, do you know what? It's really nice. I love how sort of clean it is. It doesn't have the stuff that would piss people off about Egoist Platinum, like the metallic sharpness. It doesn't have the kind of cheesiness of Fierce, even though Fierce was a very innovative perfume when it came out, I have to say. And I bought a bottle from America because you couldn't even get it in the UK, right? Just because I was curious about what it smelled like. And that's a Christophe Laudermiel, actually, Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce.
What?
Did you know that?
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, it was Christophe Laudermiel. Yeah, he made that perfume. And it's very innovative, very innovative. Again, what's it called? Mont Blanc, they copied it, didn't they? And arguably Egoist is kind of similar, although I would say that's a more of a effervescent champagne-y kind of version, and it's quite different, actually. But that's what I got from it, a more cleanly version of that, but pleasant, you know, nice. I'm not going to, you know, go, oh, it's fucking amazing or anything, but nice and kind of justifying its existence. I'm not saying it's a clone of those, it certainly isn't, but it arrives in a similar place.
Oh, James.
Oh, shit. I know it is. And do you know what? My little symbol, my little Wi-Fi symbol has gone up, like to full. It's been really down the whole time, and now it's suddenly fucking shot up. So let's hope we didn't lose any of that, because it was gold.
So mixed opinions. I think, James, you were pretty happy with it, though. Right. Fliss, you were a hard pass, and Ben, you were kind of a bit meh by the whole experience, which I think leaves us... what does it leave us? It leaves us Grove Anemone, Clive Christian Red Tea Vetiver, and the House of Core Bitter Almond. So let's do the Clive Christian. Ben, Clive Christian Red Tea Vetiver. I would have thought this would be quite up your street, just because the vetiver aspect of it. And the tea. Loved it.
Would have been, this was the one that I would love to have bought, but knowing it's Clive Christian, I know it's about £900, and I didn't even look it up.
I think it's £400, but yeah, it's not a cheapie.
Yeah, loved it. No, I thought it was really, really good. Really liked it. And do you know what I liked the most about it, or not the most about it, but one of the things that surprised me about it was it had like red tea vetiver in the name, and I thought like, oh, it's going to be a big vetiver, and you spray it and it's like grassy and stuff, but the vetiver doesn't come out at first. It's the tea is much stronger for a while, and then the vetiver kind of creeps in. But no, I loved it. I thought it was really nice, like really fresh, which is weird for a vetiver fragrance. They're often the earthiness gets, sort of takes over, but this sort of remains like real kind of clean and fresh. But the vetiver's still there. It doesn't get bogged down in too much earthiness. It's got like almost like a menthol kind of mint sort of side to it as well, which I don't know if that's the tea, maybe like tanniny tea kind of vibe. I don't know. But no, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really, really good. It's the other one that I really, really enjoyed out of the ones you sent. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I think it's very classy as a fragrance. It's a sort of elegant thing and
soapy as well.
Yeah.
Initially, which you don't tend to associate with like tea fragrances, like tea and soapiness. Like,
no,
does that going to work? But it does. It's
well, I first thought it was not very strong, and it isn't a shouty perfume, but it does actually hang around for quite a while as the vetiver sort of almost kind of firms up throughout the experience, and again, for me, this is like the diametric opposite of the Amouage in the sense that this is definitely not a shouty perfume at all, but I just think it's so desperately elegant and lovely. I think the £400 pricing is tantamount to criminality, but that notwithstanding, it's a really lovely perfume. Fliss, how did you get on with it?
I really liked it too. I think everything that Ben said is absolutely correct. Lovely, fresh, clean vetiver. When we were doing those materials, vetiver materials, one of them smelled like a spa, didn't it? It smelled like, and that is, I think there's that slightly mentholated top to it. Really reminded me of that particularly clean vetiver that we tried when we did the materials episode. And then the tea again is very, very clean black tea, kind of quite Japanesey almost. It's just classy as all hell. I really, really like it. It smells clean and fresh and zingy and, like you say, elegant and classy. I do balk at the price, and I think that for the price point there are some other really good teas out there, but if you've got the money and you want to smell classy as all hell, then do it. It's really great. I can't fault it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a surprisingly nice result for the Clive Christian. I sort of thought you might think it was a bit wanky, but
no. I think the price point is wanky, but the actual perfume itself, I think, is excellent.
How much did you say it was? 400 quid or something?
Yeah. It's a bit of a stretch. I mean, how did you feel about it, James?
I hate to disagree with you all, so I won't. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was fucking fantastic.
Oh, really?
Yes. And again, for that strange reason that I will wolf down olives but go, I don't know why I like them, because this is immediately when I first sprayed it, I was like, that's a delightful, very transient citrus that just comes off the top of it. Very fresh, lovely. Okay, it's got a slight tea aspect, but what I could smell immediately, sandalwood. Right, and not
really?
Your creamy sandalwood, not your woody sandalwood, not that kind of, that sandalwood that you get with that papyrus vibe that you get in Santal 33, which I
Santal 33
hate. Right, I
cannot stand
hate it. But do you know what? This just teeters on the edge of it and doesn't quite go to that horrible place. It's really nice, and immediately I smelled the sandalwood and was like, "Where's the vetiver in this perfume?" Exactly like Ben said, wait for a couple of hours and it's a full-on vetiver, but it's like dead rooty, dead natural, and it smells, like some really good aged like vetiver oil material. And with the tea the tea notes, which I get much more now. I'm not familiar with Rooibos. I've never smelled that tea. I've never had that tea.
Rooibos.
Yeah. So I don't really know, but it does have. Say what it does. Rooibos. What it does have.
Go on, you that fucking Rooibos, mate.
Not having that muck, right? So no, this has a slight fennel frong, like. I'd like slight anise just for like a moment in the top, which I love, and just generally, yeah, I really like it. I always describe that sandalwood as being almost like transparent. It's like, or like translucent. It's not creamy or dense or like shavings of wood or anything that you would imagine, but it is an aspect of sandalwood, and there is sandalwood in this apparently. So I thought, and then I thought, where's the vetiver? And then bing, there's vetiver. So clever fragrance, not really smelled anything like it. Tea, vetiver, sandalwood, citrus in the top, all delivered in this kind of like really cool way where you're getting them gradually. Like you say, it's not a loud perfume, certainly not a biche, but it delivers this kind of journey of things. I really liked it. Shame it's dead expensive. Let's hope it, is somewhere, and it's not dead sweet or anything. It's quite sort of subdued. I really enjoyed it, I've got to say. So that was red tea vetiver, is it called?
Red tea, yeah. I tell you what I really like about this perfume as well is that they seem to basically just be fucking off almost all modern trends. There's nothing playing to the gallery. There's no, hey, right, we need our Aventus or we need our beach-like perfume or anything like that. They've just made a perfume, which I guess they wanted to make, but which is classy and nice and elegant and good without it being at all like any of the modern toss that's sort of out there at the moment. So I'm glad that one was such a hit, really.
I like the way that it progresses so much, and that it changes during the day, and I can imagine wearing it on 2 consecutive days and getting a completely different journey, which is, I think, is a really delightful thing. In the heat, in the cold, or your body, whatever. And I just think it's actually more complex than you would think. It really is.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Right, well, that leaves us 2. Let's do the House of Core Bitter Almond next. Fliss, what did you make of House of Core Bitter Almond?
I loved it.
Really?
I wasn't quite sure at first, because I think when you first spray it, there's quite a masculine aquatic note, but that quickly dries off and it becomes a really realistic marzipan for me on my skin. And when I say realistic, I mean not overly sweet, but like homemade marzipan with a very sticky, prominent bitter. It is a bitter almond and a nutty, almost woodsy feel to it. Very real, but what I think is really clever is on my if I put my nose up to my skin, felt like a gourmand, not too sweet, but it really did conjure up for me homemade marzipan. But then if I left my hand kind of like away from my body and went around my day, there was this salty aquatic note that would kind of flow over me as an additional experience. And so it felt there was this edible mouthfeel of the bitter almond, but then this lovely wash of salty, almost skinish. And I think it's really clever. It felt like there was 2 layers to it, but those layers were complementary in a way that I wouldn't have expected, and I loved it.
Nice. Okay, I'm glad you loved it. I'm slightly surprised, and I don't disagree with you about the sort of masculine sort of opening. I think it's a very fizzy cardamom sort of like a burst of like cardamom pod, like you've just crunched into sort of a whole mouthful of cardamom pods, but also strangely soapy. So to me, this feels like just world's finest kind of soap. I'd expect the soap in like the most expensive hotels in Italy to smell like this kind of thing. James, have you had a chance to respray?
I have, yes, and I do recall wearing it on my skin. I like the fact that the name, it's not misleading because it is bitter, right? And it's not only the almond that you would associate with sugary, kind of creamy, I suppose, that sort of like nutty aspect. Maybe they couple it with like heliotrope or like sandalwood, you know, like other kind of creamy things, or vanilla maybe, or whatever. It doesn't do that. It has got that cardamom. It has got that like the soapiness, I think, is obviously probably coming from the cardamom as well, so it's smooth on smooth, but like there's a herbal aspect to it which I think takes it away from ever being like too sweet. Now I do recall it getting sweeter when it dries down on your skin and becomes more of an almond, you know, heliotrope marzipan type thing, but I don't really mind that because there's a lot of interest in the opening. I have to say, when I first sprayed it, I recall the first time spraying it, I was like, wow, I've not really smelled anything like this, right? And for that reason, it's a good perfume, right? And I understand why you've curated this little selection of perfumes, because there's intrigue and sort of interest in each of them, whether you like them or not. And this is one that I went, I don't even know the brand. Heard of the brand.
By the way. Thank you. That is one of the nicest things you've actually said, and it's exactly what I was trying to go for. It's like actual things that were interesting, not just, hey, here's good smells.
Good. I appreciate that, and yeah, I mean what I'm saying. So I like it. I'm not massively enamored with it, but I totally find it interesting. Did the brand send it you? I'm just
yeah. So they sent me 3 perfumes. I mean, you know, full disclaimer, I absolutely love this one. I fucking love it. It's probably my second favourite out of the whole lot. One of the other ones they sent was a sort of a tea and rose thing, which is also, I thought, was fucking brilliant. And it's not like a sort of sugary rose. It's like a blossomy sort of quite delicate rose on a like very kind of calming tea. It really good. And then another one which actually I didn't like very much. I can't even remember it, but 2 out of 3 I thought was pretty good fucking hit rate.
New? Are they a new house?
I think they are. I think they are new, or at least new-ish. So the presentation, there are pictures on my Instagram. The presentation is very dull. Right, like the bottles are very utilitarian. They've just got a little sticker on it that says what they are, and then they've got these weird, slightly tall caps which are made out of recycled plastic. And I, honestly, as much as I enjoy the perfumes, I do think they could work on their presentation a little bit. But I think I was so impressed with how different they smelt. These were not tropes or things that I'd smelt before, and I sort of love them for that. But I think it's easy for perfumers to come up with something that I've not smelled before, but to do that and it smell good, that's the trick. There's plenty of fucking absolute bilge which you go, well, I've not smelled anything like it and it's awful. These, I just was like, it's fucking brilliant. I couldn't really compare them to anything else. And I've worn Bitter Almond like 3 or 4 times, and every time I've worn it, I've been really pleased with my choice of perfume.
I fucking hated it. There's
Ben.
Did
you enjoy it? No.
So underneath,
You hated it.
I'm sort of split on
You
it, right? So I feel
fucking
like the
prick.
two halves, right? And the second half I like the bottom end of it. I really enjoy, like that sweet marzipan kind of Battenberg vibe. But it's got this like plasticky, rubbery vinyl feel to it, which I tend to associate with like really dank, sort of heavy patchouli. But I don't think that's the case in this, because it's just too sweet for that. But it's just got this weird sort of rubbery vinyl sort of feel, and to me that reminds me of getting car sick in the 80s or in the back of a Ford Cortina, and I just. Yeah, well, you know those vinyl plasticky seats.
It's quite a specific memory.
Hot in the sun, and then you.
Yeah, I do.
And
they used to get so hot,
sort of
burn your fucking
kind of
arse off if you sat on
it. It would always make me feel a bit car sick, and so perhaps there is like that memory association that I can't shake that kind of puts me off of it, but that's what it makes me feel like, and so for me it's
that's interesting.
A no, but
I don't get any of that.
I want to enjoy it. I like it. I like it in the sense that it is an interesting perfume and it feels creative, like it's not just a sort of Battenbergy kind of smell. They haven't just gone like, oh, fuck it, let's just make a marzipan Battenberg and, wang it out of that. Like, there's more to it than that, which is good. But but the vinyl thing I can't shake. And so maybe that's a personal sort of scent memory thing that's getting in the way. And but I don't know. It's, unfortunately.
I think it was interesting what you said, Dan, about the cardamom being quite, sort of photorealistic. It does smell like those kind of pods where they've just broken open, and you don't often get that because cardamom tends to be a very dry note. It's kind of latched onto like cedar and ISOE super and stuff like that, and it gives this really dehydrated kind of spice note that you get in lots of things. And obviously the cardamom essential oil or whatever, like quite sort of cheap materials, have that character, whereas this has that kind of thing of like, when they say like put spices in a pan first and like release the oils and stuff, it's got that kind of like to it, which I kind of appreciate. But I also get why Ben's saying about that like vinyl kind of vibe, and that's some kind of like white florally thing, but it also links back to the creaminess of the base almond, whatever it is. And I can get that from it too. So like I say, I don't particularly like, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I can't wait to like wear this, but I like the creativity, and I like that it's giving you like a note that you maybe don't always get from other perfumes. And like I say, I'm here to sniff things.
So on a bit of a side about cardamom, right? Have you ever smelt cardamom like a natural material, right? So it's really heavily regulated, right? Isn't it? Like you can only put like a small amount in perfume. So remember when I started making perfume, I was like, well, fuck that, I love cardamom, I'm going to stick shit tons in, right? And I was making like, trying to make this formula, and I put a ton of cardamom in it, like cardamom oil. I can't remember what it actually was, which exact material, and then sprayed it, and like literally burnt my skin off my wrist. I was like, oh, this is why Effer exists. Like, this is why you can't put 10% in. Like, it's
Well, do you know what? Were you saying about this, Ben? Have you ever tried to make a formula with
I haven't made any like in the last couple of years, so
Well, neither have I. I've not touched any pipettes or anything, but I've been having some in-depth conversations with AI, shall we say, about perfume formulas, and I'm very impressed with how good it is, to be honest. I mean, it might be a load of bollocks. I haven't actually tried any of these formulas, but from like you can go back and forth, and it is that thing of you only get out what you put in. Really, you have to have some knowledge and things to bounce off it, and but in terms of it organising me, asking it about IFRA, so you'll create a perfume formula, you go, hang on, isn't that a bit like, hasn't that got loads of isoeugenol in this, that and the other, and mentioned all the things, and it went, yes, that's a good point. Shall we reduce them all down? Here's the IFRA restrictions, and it went through all that shit. I need that. Do you know what I mean? I need an assistant as somebody to bounce kind of ideas
Is it
off.
accurate at that though?
Exactly. I don't know. I think
Because I've come across some stuff recently whereby it obviously not in perfume, but similar stuff for work, and it's a bit of a passive aggressive people pleaser, and it just makes shit up rather than say it doesn't know.
Correct. And I'm very, very
you have to check everything.
I'm very, very conscious of that, right? But as a kind of a jumping off point for it going, I've identified that each one of these, it can't really lie about that. And because like I say, it's only as good as your knowledge, because if you go, hang on, that's bollocks, then you are informing it or steering it in the right direction. So yes, I don't blindly just take what it says, but it's like an assistant to me. It's a tool that I'm using to organize me and go, hey, I'll knock that up into a PDF, whereas I would sit there dicking around, tapping things in, and that then ruins my workflow. Do you know what I mean? It's something that it's so easy for me to go back and forth. I found it fantastic, to be honest. I've only done like about 3 formulas with it, and I've not tried any of them, so they could be fucking dog shit. But just from my own remembering like what was good, and it was very good. And I don't know where it's drawing this information from, but somebody's training these fucking AIs to be pretty spot on with its things. And yeah, it is a bit of a people pleaser, and yeah, it does go, yeah, that's a great idea, Jamie. You're like, yeah, thanks, mate. Like,
I fucking know, mate. I know.
That. But no, it's an interesting development, and it's certainly it's made me want to go back and revisit making perfume again. So
I've been using AI to write Visual Basic scripts for Excel at work, and you sort of say, you tell it what you want to do, and then it says, oh yeah, no, do this, and then you paste the formula in, and then it goes, this doesn't work. And so you go back to the AI and you say, well, no, it said there was an error, and it goes, oh yeah, I see the problem now, cool, try this. And it is literally like sort of just having an iterative conversation with a very clever person who's not right all the time, but like you can sort of point something out and they go, oh shit.
They're not a prick about it either. They don't see their arse and go, hang on, I know fucking better than you. It goes, fuck you. It goes, yeah, good point. Let's work with that. And that's good
point. Good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see that before we sorry, we should probably go on topic, but they did an update for it a little while back, and it became like overly sycophantic though, and people were like, oh, I've got this idea for a business, I want to sell like shit on a stick, and it was like, that's a great idea, you're a visionary, and like it was yeah.
You'd buy it though, wouldn't you?
Sticks of shit.
Shit on a stick.
I bet you fucking would. There's a perfume, it smells like shit on a stick. Right, okay, I want to bring us to our last one. Fliss is yawning, which is a signal that we are to wrap it up. So I want to bring us to our last one. I want to preface this by saying that this was my favourite one. And I think
really?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is my favourite perfume of the year, actually.
No way.
Yeah, I know. Weird, isn't it? Which is one by a brand that I'd never heard of, called Grove, England, and the perfume's called Anemone. And anemone is a flower of some sort, but this is principally a sort of chamomile. Well, I don't know. I don't even really know how to describe it. It's sort of like a weird chamomile fougere type hybrid. It's just, I think it's fucking special, genuinely special. And I love it. So if you're going to say nasty things, let's just get it out of the way. Come on, James.
It has a lot of solary kind of notes to it, doesn't it? It's got like that very bright sort of solar vibe to it. Do you know what? Once you give it like 10-15 minutes, I think it becomes quite pleasant, and it is a very nice, like, say, like solary, bright, floral type thing. but it's more interesting than that because it has a like floral doesn't cut it. It's much more interesting. It's much more peculiar almost than that. But when you spray it, good Lord, no. Like those first 5 minutes are shocking. Like they're to me, that first 5 minutes, so? I was like, this is all sorts of wrong. Like it had like a kind of weird salt watery kind of grossness to it. And I was, but then once that calmed down, it becomes lovely. But those first few minutes, whew, I mean, whew.
No.
You see, I think the opposite of Ben. I think the first 5 minutes I really loved.
And
really? It reminded me of...
Beachy. It's very beachy.
It reminds me... I don't get beach out of it at all, but it reminds me of an early Goutal cologne. Really kind of complex, floral, bright, clean, very classical kind of feel to it. Like an early Goutal cologne. But then the dry down, I found... gets a bit generic, and then unfortunately in the base of it, the very dry down after about an hour, there's a material that just smells very brown and sludgy to me, and I think that it's a material I've smelled before in the modern formulations of Goutal colognes, so I know I don't know what it is, but there's a modern base that ruins it for me, and it just makes everything sludgy, and I'm very obviously sensitive to it because I've smelt it before in reformulated stuff, so I don't know. Maybe James.
It's obviously sort of pointless to sort of say this because it doesn't make any sense to him, but to me it did have a lovely like nostalgic kind of feel to it, and I couldn't really pin my finger on what I was nostalgic of.
I think I know.
But it had that.
But I think that's what makes me think of of those early Goutal colognes.
James
knows. Old.
James knows what you're nostalgic about.
By the end of it, it just goes wrong for me.
Tell him, James. Tell him, what's he nostalgic about?
You were talking about old like vinyl seats and stuff. Shake and vac. Shake and vac.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
You do the shake and vac.
Oh, you fucking arsehole. You've just...
I've just destroyed it for you.
Do you know what? You're not wrong. I can totally understand the shake and vac thing, but I think it's fucking magic. I just think it's so nice as a perfume, but I like all of it. Like I like the first 5 minutes. I like the last. I like the whole fucking shooting match. I mean, James, what did you think of it? If Shake and Vac doesn't sound like the best review,
it doesn't, does it? I didn't say I didn't like it, though, did I?
Oh, right, okay.
What I enjoy. Notoriously, I don't like chamomile, right? That has been most chamomile fragrances I fucking hate, right? But I can deal with this one, and what I like about it is that it's really almost like we were talking about Italian. It almost could be that very clean kind of Italian vibe, and with some of that sea aspect that Ben was touching on, but also
if someone said it was a Santa Maria Novella, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes, that's where I was kind of going towards that, and I think that's why Dan likes it so much, because I think it's got that minimalist vibe, that minimalist floral vibe,
clean, almost soapy floral.
Yeah. And it's, do you know what? I actually really do like it. I did like it, and I think I texted when I first sprayed it and went, yeah, I fucking really like that one. Yeah. In hindsight, I'm kind of not as excited about it, but I do really like it, and I think people who like vintage, or people who like solid floor type things, even though it's quite sort of has its complexity, I think we'll like it, and it's just quite a powerful, it's quite evocative like perfume. I quite like it.
It's very clean and very pretty.
Yeah,
very clean and very pretty. I just wish there wasn't that whatever is in the dry down that suddenly I can pick up on. I just wish it wasn't that, because if I wasn't being sensitive to that material, I would really, really like this one.
Yeah.
But there's just something in the dry down which I can't.
It's a shame that as well, isn't it, when that happens? Yeah, but
I think the chamomile gives it a old school sort of vibe, and when you say nostalgic, Ben, maybe you are nostalgic for Shake and Vac, maybe that's what it is, right? But I think it just has this kind of really classy, clean cut sort of thing going on, and if you look at the brand, they're very much sort of traditional English sort of white shirts kind of styling, and it's all very lovely and chic, and I think they've, I don't know whether that's influencing me to think that they've nailed their brief and it suits the brand perfectly, or whether I just see it and go, yep, that's exactly what I was smelling. But I feel like this perfume is quite unusual. It's quite different to a lot of stuff, to anything else really that I know, and yet I think it's maximally versatile. So, like, I've worn it to the gym, I've worn it to work, I've worn it around the house, and it suits every occasion flawlessly.
But did you get any compliments?
You definitely wear it with like a suit as well. Like, you could definitely put with a suit, it would be really classy and nice and clean. And
what did you say there, James?
I said, did you get any compliments there?
Did I get any compliments? No, I didn't. But then I very rarely get compliments, to be honest.
Yeah, but guys, I tried this Thompson & Carter the other night, and, I was just swimming in pussy, it was fucking amazing. And this is a totally legit, real podcast that actually exists.
This is a totally legit podcast about perfume. Hey, I've got one for you. What's your favourite fragrance? Oh, Thompson Carter.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Has that got pheromones in it? Yeah, fucking.
I hope those people all fucking get ingrown toenails. Cunts. I feel like that's like an appropriate level of unpleasantness to wish on people, Like, I'd never wish anything really sinister on people, but an ingrown toenail's quite unpleasant.
Yeah.
They deserve them. Okay, well, look, I think that's a spectacular one. Favourites then. Ben, favourite of the lot would be... I'm guessing
probably the
Amouage.
Yeah, I think so. But it's a tough tie with that Sexual Healing. I loved them both. I thought they were really enjoyable, both of them. So
decent hit rate with Ben. Though,
and even the Cry of Christian is not far behind. I love that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So three scores and some less enthusiasm. Fliss, favourites?
I think the Clive Christian Red Tea Vetiver, I thought it was just delicious and just classy as all hell. And then the Core Bitter Almond, really inventive. I've not smelt an almond like that with so many layers without going sugary gourmand. I thought it's so clever. Yeah, those two I think were the standouts for me.
Great. And most hated for you was the
Amouage. I can get in the sea. In fact, it shouldn't go in the sea, because the sea has got lovely little animals in it that don't need to be exposed to that absolute tedium of awfulness. So, it can get in the landfill.
Get in the landfill. Fucking hell. Get in the landfill. Right, and James, favourites of the bunch then?
The Clive Christian, the Red Tea Vetiver, and I actually think the Lilac Wine, just because... Nice. I do like that vibe, and I thought it was a very sort of simplified, kind of classy version of that. And do you know what? I don't really least favourites. I mean, I don't really have particularly a least favourite. I quite like them all. Maybe the Amouage, just because of its, it's not the best of what have been pretty good ones that we've tried. I mean, that trio that we tried were fantastic. Some of the ones that have come out have been like, they're okay. They're doing a thing now. But this is kind of like just a little bit yeah, so probably the Amouage is probably my least favourite, which is weird to say, but
yeah. If I was going to be super critical, I'd say it felt like Beach phoned that one in, really. It's certainly not his most distinguished work, but I still like it. Tiny.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, we need to wrap it up because everybody's exhausted and we've been recording for what seems like 17 hours now. So it was fucking brilliant to get the team back together and get another episode in the can. And I'm looking forward to another one in 2 weeks' time. Until then, we've been Les Oderants and we will catch you next time. Bye!
Bye.